He did.
Oh, now it's working.
He did the exact same thing in the exact same way, and he got a different outcome.
What the hell?
Science.
Science. Well, I was like, what the hell is going on here?
He literally pushed it in twice.
I felt like the first time sleeping with a woman, and then you're like, wait, like I swear this never happens. Like, oh gosh.
That's what Keenan said.
Yeah, literally, you're the first one that I've done this to.
Oh man,
I swear it's not me. It's the thing.
That was embarrassing.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're here.
Boop, boop,
Aw,
boop.
jeez. Keenan, are you really gonna be like this now that your brother's here?
I'm nervous.
Aw, jeez. You better kick that beat. Yeah. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. Check it. Ah, damn.
I can't
All
do
right.
the
It's okay. It's
little
okay.
drummy
You don't.
thingy.
So it's okay. It's okay. Welcome one. Welcome all to episode 81 of the None of Our Business podcast. We are your hosts,
Boop, boop, boop.
Keenan, Cianan and Dunkaroos, C-section, C-notice, C4, see your way out of here, C3PO. Keenan Duncan.
Yay.
Today, we have a very special guest.
Ba, ba, ba.
Phil, not the one you thought it was, but a better one. Philip.
2.0.
Philip Duncan.
Uh,
That's right. We have Phil. Oh,
Yes.
what are nicknames?
I
That's what
I don't know, but
you don't have it. You. Okay,
I really don't have.
I don't hang out with him.
Really?
Well, from Keenan, I don't
Philip?
think so.
Oh no P Diddy's.
No, I mean I
Um,
get it. I mean occasionally, but from you, no, not really.
I call him.
Yeah, you
I'ma call him
dick or
Poppy.
something like that.
Poppy Duncan. P.
Fucking dick. No.
Procrastinator.
No.
No. But it's Philip. Very much respected.
My BFF, my brother Philip, is on the show.
Glad to be
coming
here.
from Doodlebug. All right.
Yes,
I'm
guess
Doodle
who-
B.
There it is. He announced
Doodle
it.
B.
I'm Doodle B.
He's Doodle B.
Doodlebug.
There it is.
There it is.
And I did hear that episode
You
too, so
did.
it
Yeah,
just
you did.
reminded me. I was like, oh
That
yeah,
was
that's
great.
right. I am Doodle B.
You're like, damn, yeah.
Yeah,
fuck.
Doodlebug and Doodle B.
Yep.
Thank you, Mom.
And I'm just
Thank
Joe.
you, Mom.
I'm just Joe. Welcome.
Not only for the nicknames, for everything else. For
I
giving
know.
birth to us.
Yeah.
She's like, what's Doodle Bee and Doodlebug?
Yeah.
Like,
Where that came from, fuck if I know.
Yeah,
but
I
isn't
don't
a bee
either.
a bug? So
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, they're insects. Yeah, sure.
Sure,
Sure.
why
Yeah,
not? Yeah,
yeah,
that's
Joe.
what we're gonna
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
dude, epic. Here we are. Look at
Yes.
us.
Finally made it
Finally made
on
it.
the show.
We're brothers.
you know
we're
what's funny,
happy, we're singing and we're colored.
Keenan,
Give me
Keenan
a
never thought
high
you'd be
five.
on here. You know.
Yeah, I know. He never thought I would be on here, but I will say that I was.
I lost the
helped.
bet.
No,
so
no, he didn't lose a bet, but I mean,
I have to
I
suck somebody
guess.
off now.
I guess, but
That's what you're into.
I was when the idea of the show was like when he told me like, oh, I've got like a podcast and it's with Joe and we're doing this thing. I was like, that's cool because there's podcasts are a thing right now.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So I was like, oh man, that's actually pretty dope. And then so I think I listened to like the first 2 episodes that you guys put out there, and I was like, okay, that's like very cool. I'd like to be on the show at some point, but it was like one of those things that's in the back of my mind. Like
Right,
it would be
right.
good to be on the show. If they ask me, I'll jump and I'll be like, yes, just tell me when. But things in life, like I wasn't like it's gonna be my main priority. Like I'm hounding these guys to get
Nobody
on the show.
ever, nobody ever feels like it's like.
So I'm like, if they ask me, I'll definitely be on. It'd be cool. It'd be my first podcast I've ever done. So hello, podcast world.
Hey, you're breaking the bank. We're getting close. You're at episode 81.
Oh, I should have came on
Episode
episode
81.
100.
That would have been
Like
even-
that would have been
that
like
would've
the
been epic.
celebration. Like finally we get his
Well, I'm
brother on the
hoping.
show. So
Here's
yeah,
the
but
thing.
It's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm hoping that by the time we do get to episode 100, which is the end of next season. No, that would be the end of this season.
Yeah, 19 more episodes.
Yeah, so it'd be
if
the end of this
anything, we
season.
probably should just extend it just so we have the third season ending on 100 episodes.
Well, funny because we're on the 4th season, but okay. Jeez.
Excuse me.
Oh.
I'm just gonna take a sip of this.
See what I
real
have to deal
quick.
with? Well, you already know what I have to deal with.
What? Damn
I've
it.
lived with him for 37 years.
God damn it. 5 minutes in, I'm already on my own.
No, you're
No,
not. we
come
love
on,
you,
man.
we love you. We love you.
It's all right.
I'd like to think that, I'm the second brother he never had.
No,
Because we've
even
known
our
him since junior
even
high.
our mom thinks you're like the third son. She's never had
Pretty much.
or
Hey,
wanted.
cheers to that, my brother.
Just kidding.
Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute, what?
Yes.
Yeah, but we were hoping for last season we were hoping to do a live show for the season finale. Obviously that didn't happen because of Corona,
Right.
And maybe if we do get an opportunity, I mean we're talking 19 weeks away. We're in a position
good
where we can
time.
actually potentially have a
19
have
weeks
a live
away.
show.
Would that be about the
That
end of the
puts
year?
us, yeah, it's at the end of the year.
Would it be about the end of the
Yeah.
year? We'll see.
Yeah. I mean,
it's
with
not looking good.
It's like 5 months.
Just read the
Yeah.
article about Florida.
Wait, what happened
Exactly.
in Florida?
It set the
Dude.
United States record and
The world.
record
Yeah.
at the same time for the number of confirmed cases
Yeah.
that were reported.
Jesus.
I think it was over
In the day, right?
17,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a day.
It's crazy. Yeah.
What happened in Florida? They just like
They reopened. They
And-
reopened early and kept pushing.
here's the crazy thing
agenda
about it.
of-
The crazy thing about it is that 2 leagues are having
Yeah.
their tournament
Yep.
seasons
Yep.
in Florida.
MLS, the
MLS.
Florida, the the soccer league of
Right.
the United States, and then the NBA is
And the
going there.
NBA.
So we're so for like I'm a huge sports fan.
Yeah.
I'm huge. I
We're
follow
gonna have to dive
all the
into
news.
that.
We'll
We'll
dive into
dive
that.
into-
But just real quick, like I've never thought any of the major sports were going to pull any of this off. Mainly being because of just seeing how the government is handling it.
Right.
I'm gonna misquote this, but I heard it on one of the sports casters or one of the sports programs, and basically the guy said just about sports is like sports is a luxury for when you know your society is all well put together. So
Okay.
like once you get the society's great, sports is an extra entertainment,
Of
an extra
course.
bonus of
course.
things.
It's for the
But
people.
At least here in this country right now, we're not set up to do sports. We're not locked down to basically be like, yes, everything is great. Let's have our sports back. Like I mean,
Exactly.
obviously, we can get into this later, but obviously it's like, the people that run these sports organizations, it's capitalist society. They're
Right,
money driven.
right.
They see like we're not gonna have a season. We're not gonna have TV revenue. We're
losing
not gonna
money.
have we're losing money. We're just gonna try to stuff something down America's throats because that's what America wants.
Right,
I'm doing air
right.
quotes right now if you can't see on the podcast. That America wants their sports right now in this time of COVID,
Yeah,
and it's like I'm a huge sports fan. It'd be great to watch live sports. American live sports because I've been following the KBO, which is the Korean
yeah, the
baseball
Korean
league.
baseball
and
league.
it's
Who-
I get my sports
who's your
fix
team?
there. The LG Tigers.
Oh, hey, Tigers, what's up?
So I've been following. So as far as like a live sports, it's like I mean it's like 2 a.m, but I mean
It is.
I can DVR it and watch it in whenever I have time, and then it's like live or whatever. But like but they have their situation fixed over there, so they can pull that.
They're in a
off.
better position to
So-
be doing something.
So
like
when I see our sports here trying to do it, I'm like, we're not ready yet.
Right,
and then
right.
the fact that they're going to the state that just set the record. I mean,
They're still going? They're not.
Yeah, they're already there.
they're already there
for the NBA.
Both,
they're already
both
there.
leagues are already
But
there.
they started playing.
They've started playing.
They-
well, the MLS already started.
MLS has.
Okay.
They started last week.
And there are people in the audience.
No.
No.
These are private matches.
Okay.
Like only like telecasters and
Right,
like the
right.
media.
I
is there,
see,
yeah.
I see.
They're trying to
Okay.
minimize the number
Yeah,
of people.
yeah.
Like it's
Right.
the bubble that they
Yeah,
call.
that's what they're calling it.
They're calling it the bubble, where they basically are, like a bouncer at a club. They're
Right.
making only sure specific people get in to do the sports. So, I mean, like I said, they didn't know that Florida was going to set the world
Exactly.
record.
I don't know.
When
we
they
could kind of.
coulda guessed
it's
it's
Florida.
Hey, my Floridians, I love you, but y'all shit's fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, every time I hear this, all I think of is that the GIF of Bugs Bunny sawing the thing, and then they do this zoom out, and it's Florida being like going off into the ocean and stuff like this happens.
And then it sinks.
So, it's I mean, I'm sorry, Florida, but your representation.
Florida has never been the state of like. We look at that state as that's part of America. It's always been the bastard child.
There's this whole thing about Florida Man. You could look up Florida Man, and there's always something in the headlines about a Florida man who did some crazy shit.
Or it's the reverse. You read the headline, and then you're like, Florida Man.
That happened.
Right. There's a radio show that had a segment called Florida or Anywhere Else, and they would read a headline. You have to guess whether it happened in Florida or anywhere else, and
most of the time it was
in Florida. Most of the time, like 3 out of 5.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, what's crazy? What's crazy about the MLS though is that 2 teams have already dropped out.
Because
teams.
That's smart.
Well, no. 2 teams have already dropped out because their players were
got
sick.
infected.
Oh,
so they were
that is not smart.
Yeah,
now, but that's the risk. And admittedly, I think Adam Silver, who's commissioner of the NBA, had already stated that that they know the risk that if they get started, and let's say a player gets it, like let's extreme example, LeBron James, right? Facing the NBA right now. Let's say he comes down with COVID. Not only do you have your star player out on a team that's contending for the title, but that throws into whack everything else, because if you're in this bubble and he got it, then the question is who else brought it to him, right? And then anybody he's interacted with now has to be quarantined, which probably means the whole team is now quarantined, which means the Lakers potentially are out of this thing. So it's an inherent risk, and it's a virus. It's not like,
and it's not like these sports aren't contact sports. Like,
I don't even know what they're trying to start football.
Like
how are you going to be socially distanced in a huddle?
You can absolutely, you'd have to get another bubble.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is that football is so much greater. Like you know, like the MLS and the NBA, they have small teams, and they have like smaller coaching staffs and things like that.
Right.
The NFL has an army. Each team comes with an army.
Right.
And 11 players each side.
How can you control that? You can't.
You can't.
So the fact that and same thing for the MLB. They come with armies.
Yep.
And it's like, how are you going to be able to control something like that? Even if you had a bubble.
You're trying to control an unknown enemy that we don't know anything about. Because we know the name COVID-19, but I mean, I just read it. Well, I didn't read an article, but I was just seeing articles about now they're debating, the scientists, or whether or not it's an airborne thing. Because one of the things that we heard in the beginning is like, it's only transferred through saliva, and you have to touch your mouth, and get into the whole thing. But now they're like, well, it potentially could be airborne. I'm like, so you guys still don't know what it is,
because
like still don't know how
definitely,
it. You know,
you know what? We're gonna find out in the election.
Philip's a Republican.
After the election, we're gonna know what what's
Republican.
He just has.
I might have a Republican. Here's the thing: when it comes to the politics with me, right? Like if someone had to put me in a box, yes, I would say I'm more liberal when it comes to dealing with a lot of the policies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But as I tell people, if we have conversations about that, but there are a lot of conservative ideas I have, like just for an example, like the job market. I'm very conservative, and I believe that we need to be making our own crap here.
Yeah, absolutely.
To outsource.
That's a conservative thought.
Yeah, well, conservative thing is keeping everything within our own
Make
kind
America
of society.
great again, Cianan.
And here, instead of using like foreign foreign factories to make.
Okay,
all of
I didn't know that was a liberal stance.
No, that's a conservative.
That's a conservative.
Being conservative with your
imports.
Imports.
I just meant like the opposite. If you're liberal, you're open to outsourcing business, which I thought isn't a liberal thing.
It's I'm just speaking
in the current the way the current economy is. Through the administration, like the previous administrations, exports were huge. So so we were
Global economy.
Yeah, in the global economy, we're letting people go and say, okay, we're gonna get this from such and such place and such as. So that's one of the things that the unions hated. They're like, yo, we're losing all our business. Ford was closing down. General Motors was closing down because they were moving to other countries, and it's like, yo, we're losing all this business. And conservatives are like, no, let's fucking bring it back.
Oh, okay.
Let's, so yeah.
Well, it depends on who you ask, because like
That's true,
someone
too.
could be a conservative, like, and usually, I don't want to say usually. Let me back that up. I'm talking about just the conservative idea about working, because you could classify as a conservative, which means you could be like a big CEO of a company, but then you outsource 80% of your work.
Yeah.
That's not being conservative. That's
right.
clearly being global, because you're getting all your work more than likely, because it's a capitalist society, which means you want to make money. So in business, if you can make yourself cheaper somewhere else, and then you can make the profit.
Yeah. If you can
you're gonna
avoid
do
taxes
it.
by moving
But-
somewhere else, but still selling your shit
Exactly,
here.
but the
Right.
idea of conservatism is that's probably not how you say it. Conservatism, at least in the economy
I
sense.
went to college.
with
Okay, that got you a lot.
yeah,
Oh fuck!
Damn, on a roll.
but I mean, it's seriously, like, I actually like when I get something and it's like made in the USA, because I'm like, great. That means more than likely
Somebody here was making that money.
I'm assuming that the thing was actually made here. People that were citizens of the United States made the job, they were paid for it, and I'm actually buying that thing. So I actually like that, and I like that idea. And I don't understand how, if we're at least America, as far as technology advances, like, we can do it. But the honest truth is, it's all a money play.
Yeah,
You
it
don't
is.
want to, because United States workers are expensive,
Right, they
we
are.
want
We are.
more money for the jobs that we do. So you're going to obviously have to pay more out of pocket. And that idea of a CEO of a company that wants to get everything for as much profit as possible is not going to want to do that.
They're
So
not going to want to do
Well,
that.
imagine if all corporations went legit, just American everything. Would they have the money they would have because of the fact that our workers want this certain payout and taxes and all that stuff? Would we have the
I
Warren Buffett's, Bill Gates stuff like that?
I don't know. Like, I would say that the trade-off of having more American workers at work will benefit the economy more.
Our
right?
economy, absolutely.
America's economy more, because you'll have more people working.
Yeah.
They'll want to spend that money, and then everything kind of goes. But if those people aren't working, or they lose their jobs to other other countries and stuff like that. So yeah, the trade-off in the CEO's mind might be, well, I'm going to be losing a lot more
shitload of
money
money.
in maybe even just the beginning part, because you never know what's going to happen 10, 20 years if we implemented something like that.
Okay.
Of whether or not they'll see their money get back
Right.
over the long course. But I think they're just looking like, well, right now, what can I do? And that's COVID aside.
And it's a play at, like, yeah, the CEOs will see, well, I'm not going to be making all my bonuses. Shareholders are going to be affected by this, all that.
Right.
But that also kind of levels out the playing field. If we did that, because Americans would be a lot happier, because they're getting the wages that they want, their salaries that they want, So it's not beneficial in the sense of, like, the actual CEOs and boards and all that. It doesn't benefit them because they're not making as much money,
Right.
because they have to pay that money out to the Americans.
But they want to
the
make that
workers.
much money, so that's why they don't.
That's why they outsource.
well,
that's why
and
they
that's
push out.
and then the other thing that layers on top of it is just it's a moral human to human thing, right? If you're more empathetic to other humans and other Americans, since we're talking about America, and you're like, I see that a big swath of this population is out of a job because I moved my factory overseas to, like, India or something like that, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look and be like, well, and now they're all losing their jobs and stuff like that. And if you just kind of have that moral, like, yes, I'm making billions and trillions amount of money, but maybe I don't need that. Maybe I want to help our society.
Okay, Phil.
I know. I'm just saying, like, I mean, the true thing is
that's
like,
what we'd love.
That's what
to
we
think.
love.
That's
That's
the-
what we
that's
would
that's
love
the
to
ideal.
think.
That's what
Like,
I.
oh,
That's
that'd be
what I
great.
actually
Yeah.
hope and like pray that would happen to these CEO companies, that they kind of get an epiphany of, like, I want to do more for. I mean, like the Warren Buffetts and the Bill Gates. I mean, they still have a lot of money, but they donate a lot of it, and they try to do more social causes to help fellow man.
Now
and
they
like
do,
that.
but how they got to where they were, they definitely screwed the system.
I'm pretty
And
sure
even
that
Bill Gates had to go to, it wasn't Supreme Court, but he got in some major shit because he was monopolizing his Microsoft corporation back in the 90s. And he went through some shit for that too.
I'm pretty sure I'm not saying anybody's perfect. Like I'm not saying there's a perfect.
Except for me.
Yeah, right. I'm not saying there's a perfect, CEO.
See how quickly he said, yeah, right? That's brother love right there.
That would be my response too. So don't even feel, brother.
Yeah, it would be nice, but I think the reason that maybe I've always kind of thought about this, but just seeing how people are treating other people now, with the George Floyd and everything else, that's happening out there, like that. How you treat other human beings, I think, needs to kind of be bumped up the list of the important thing of being, here in this country.
What is your moral code? Like, what's?
And I don't think that's ever going to happen. I mean, the history of this country, the history of the world. Like I've been saying to Joe many times on the show, whatever we're seeing, including stuff like George Floyd, is nothing new at all.
No,
and I'm talking like nothing new, like hundreds of years ago or even thousands of years ago. Shit's like, we don't talk about it anymore, but I'm pretty sure there is some messed up shit happening in the Egyptian period.
Oh, for sure.
That we don't really give a fuck about
slavery
anymore.
and stuff like
that.
There
was still slavery.
Yeah.
Like,
I think the thing that makes it weird now is, because I've talked to people about this, is it's weird to be in 2020. Like, you think like 2020 is like the future.
Yeah.
We've advanced not only technology, but we've been enlightened as well, because we're not back in Egyptian times. They didn't know anything. They didn't have electricity and all that.
We're not in the 60s. Like,
like you think like, oh, we've advanced further than that. So when you think 2020, just as like a number, and you see it in science fiction, like Star Trek and all this other stuff, you think, oh, we've advanced. So I don't think we thought like racism, for example, would be eradicated, but you would think we would have made steps. We would keep
at least.
We wouldn't keep following into, like you said, that same pattern that we've seen over and over in history. But
that's why you got to pay attention to things like RoboCop. They're showing the future legitimately, or Demolition Man. Like,
when did RoboCop take place? Like, what was the future?
I think it was like 2007. Some weird
I
shit
think
like
it
that.
was. I think it was like same for Demolition Man. Demolition Man.
Yeah,
takes
we've
place
already
in, like,
we've already
2000
passed. We've already passed that.
I don't know, 2002, 2003.
And then also Back to the Future, right?
That was
Back to the Future was like
2015.
2015.
Yeah, 2015.
Yeah.
But that's very different. That's
it
not
wasn't
even, yeah, we're
apocalyptic.
not even close to what Back to the Future
But I
2
think
was.
Escape from LA was like 1996 or something like that. Or
might have been.
Escape from LA, Escape from New York, I think was
Escape
like
from New
sooner
York,
that.
It was in the 90s.
Yeah, I think it took place.
To go to the Nerdy Talk, I just watched Back to the Future again.
I was watching it this morning.
We watched that movie. Still holds up.
It definitely
There
does.
was
Great.
I was watching it with my wife Trisha, and
Shout out.
shout out to
Hashtag
Trisha.
wifey.
Yes, love her.
Whiffy.
She put it on actually, because I was like, "What do you want?" She's like, "Oh, let's watch Back to the Future." I was like, "Yes, that's why I married you." But like we went through it, and oh God, I can't remember what it was, but I noticed something, or she pointed something out, and I'm like, I watched this movie like 20 times.
The first one, right?
Yeah, the first one, and I didn't notice that. Like I did not see that part. It was maybe in something in the background or
There's
something.
so many
God,
Easter
I really
eggs
wish
and
I
little-
remember.
Yeah,
I
there's so
would've
much
said
of
Didn't
that.
Steven Spielberg had a little something to do with that? Like he's not the director, but
He's
helped
like an
out.
executive producer.
Yeah,
I think he was.
Yeah.
It was
You can-
Robert Zemeckis was the
You can
director.
see some like Steven added little sprinkle touch.
Yeah,
into
for
it.
all those guys kind of
Yeah.
have the same
Yeah.
feel.
I mean, they all came up in the same school.
Yeah,
of,
right.
Spielberg,
their own little-
Lucas,
Coppola, all that stuff.
Zemeckis, all those guys, you can kind of like get the same feeling. But I mean, just that movie specifically, oh, so good, it's
Yeah.
so good.
So
And I know there's a shout out to, I don't know who makes the Hasbro toys, but they just made a Transformers Back to the Future.
Oh, did they?
Transformer. Yeah.
Oh, that's
They're-
with the DeLorean.
Yes, the DeLorean.
Oh shit, that's cool.
They
I might have
are-
to check that out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's limited because my buddy Victor like hit me up and was like, "You got to check this out."
Before it's too late. Like
Well,
it's-
yeah, like you get a link and I'm like, click on it and then you see Back to the Future toy. So I think it was like an anniversary. So they're only made like for 1985. They're only they're only creating 1,985 of them
shit.
for first run, and then according to the article, like in October they'll do like a.
The rest
Everybody
they'll push
can
it out.
have
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't think there's going to be like a difference between.
Yeah.
You'll
like,
just
the
get your
two.
number. You'll just get your
You
little
get the
plaque or
1985
something.
one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man, I'm really trying to remember what that thing
The
that
scene
I
was?
that I saw that the first time. Oh,
So
it's gonna bug me. I'm gonna forget about it. You
Yeah.
know, they say you forget about it, and then it just pop in your head
Yeah.
sometime later.
So I'm part of the LAFC community, the MLS soccer team.
Oh, okay, nice.
And we do like a bunch of different things, just like in general with the community, and we have our own little subgroups and things like that. So we actually have a film club as well, and we did a matinee
Oh,
today
Back to the Future.
of the Back to the Future trilogy.
Oh, all
so
three of them.
shout out to the LAFC club. Right now,
Yeah.
they're probably on Back to the Future 3.
Right.
Okay.
Because we started at 2. What time is it? Oh, yeah. So
Yeah,
they're probably
sometime.
towards the end of 3 right now.
Nice.
And it's just funny that you say that. I'm like, oh, shit,
Wow.
we did our matinee today for Back
It
to the
just
Future.
goes through all of them. What was your favorite of the three?
I think for me, the first one is probably the best. Then I'd probably have to say the third one. I really love the
Interesting.
Western. I did.
Interesting. Yeah.
2 is probably. I
Two
mean,
is
it's not.
kinda,
They're very close, honestly, because I think. I think to me the trilogy is probably one of the best trilogies to keep it consistent.
Right.
Because the way one ends is the way the other one begins, and
Right.
it just goes. That's why I really like that the trilogy in general.
Yeah.
But I'm a fan of westerns. So
Well, there you go.
to
I mean,
me,
everybody
you know,
has their own
Ooh,
own
what's your
preference.
best Western?
I have a lot of them.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I know you can't name a top. It's gonna be hard to do top 5, top 3, whatever. But what comes within the same close grouping of like your top 1 and 2 Western?
Okay, I like this. Oh, all right. I'm a huge fan of Deadwood.
Okay.
Okay,
it was
you're
a-
going
it
with
was
the
a-
series. We're going
well,
with the series.
Are we
okay.
talking about series or movies?
I was gonna say movies.
Okay,
'cause
okay,
the
movie. I
Back
can
to
do
the
movies.
Future
I
was
can
a
do
movie.
movies.
Okay.
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Okay.
I love the Good, Bad, and the Ugly.
Okay.
I love True Grit.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a good one. Which one?
I like both of them.
Okay.
Honestly,
There was the
I do
original
like
one
both
and
of them.
the
yeah.
remake.
I think those might.
Close grouping.
Those
I mean,
are-
you have to. I mean, I know it's gonna be hard because you have to pack all the westerns you saw.
Yeah.
But mine would be Two Mules for Sister Sarah, and Once Upon a Time in the West.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Kind of
That's
hard.
good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I don't know if this counts. Well, it should because it is a western.
Mm-hmm.
But have you guys ever seen Sukiyaki Western Django?
No, I've heard of it and have not
I
seen
wanna
it.
say yes.
It's
I can't
great.
remember.
It's
I want to
a-
say yes.
Yeah, it's a Japanese
Yeah,
western.
yeah,
It's-
I've seen it. It's bloody.
'Cause I wanna say-
I saw the trailer of it. I'm like, oh man, that's one of these.
I just eat westerns, man.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
love westerns.
If I had to rank my close top two, okay, so one of them is Unforgiven.
Oh,
That's a good
That
yes.
would, if I wanted to go with like a, I don't want to say quote unquote a serious western, not like a spaghetti
Yeah.
western or anything like that.
Unforgiven is
Unforgiven, number one,
yeah, that's
hands down.
Yeah.
And then I have like a kind of a personal favorite,
Mm-hmm.
and that would be and now the movie is escaping my
Oh,
name.
no.
But it was the one with Gene Hackman and Sharon Stone
Oh,
and Leonardo DiCaprio.
It's
and
Silver. No, not Silver.
No,
no, not
it's,
Silverado, even though that's a good one too. And Russell Crowe.
Fuck yes, yes. It was a great one. It was directed by Sam Raimi too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, you know what's funny? We say
We
this
have-
and
yeah,
we have
we have
phones.
phones.
No, I got it. Yes.
Oh,
Boom.
Okay,
King
here
of
we
the
go. Here we
points.
go. Here we go. Here we go. Give me the first letter of the first word.
No. I'll. Okay. The second word.
Okay. Dead.
Okay. The first one.
Oh, we're doing charades.
yeah. The first one is.
By the way, if you couldn't see that on your podcast,
no.
Okay,
Kaden was
I'm just
playing
like-
dead.
Okay. What's this? What's my motion?
Quick and the
the
Dead.
Quick and the Dead. The Quick
Boom.
and the
the
Dead.
Got
The
it.
Quick-
Yes,
That was a great movie too.
You know,
though.
the funny
You're
thing
right.
is when when it comes into westerns, like everybody goes, "Oh, it's kind of cheesy," and it's not really.
That's the Sam Raimi touch.
I feel like that was
But
more of a contemporary slick western. You
Yeah.
know, like
it
was a fantasized western, you know?
Yeah, I guess so. But it's one of my guilty pleasure.
Yeah,
if I
I
had
like
to
it.
like
I
guilty
like it.
pleasure
my
western,
guilty pleasure
that
is
would be that.
Tombstone.
Oh yeah.
Tombstone is just like
Oh, that's a good one too. Yeah,
Damn,
I can
what's
see
the
this.
guilty pleasure for me of a Western? Ugh.
Val Kilmer.
Oh,
Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles. I was gonna say.
Hey, man, don't
That's
knock
Fire
Blazing
Brothers. That's
Saddles.
Fire Brothers. I
Blazing
literally
Saddles.
stole the idea from his
He did.
mind.
Blazing Saddles.
That's mine now.
Where all the
little
white
bro.
women at? Yeah.
That's great.
Oh.
That's great. Westerns.
We saw that movie, Blazing Saddles, me and Philip, at least for me, when we were about Gavin's age. We're talking
Oh, really?
8, 9, 10 years old.
Yeah,
We were young when our parents introduced us to a lot of stuff.
all the Mel Brooks stuff.
Yeah,
Mel
all the
Brooks.
Mel Brooks
All the Mel
stuff,
Brooks.
Blazing Saddles,
Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Well, that
we
was
loved.
after because that was way
90s.
after.
It was
yeah, it was
in the
90s.
90s,
But
but still. Frank-
Gods Must Be Crazy.
God Must Be
1
Crazy.
and 2.
And
Spaceballs.
Spaceballs was
Come
a
on, we kids.
favorite. Yeah. Can't-
Young
the Schwartz.
Frankenstein. I mean,
And then when he looks at the screen, he's like,
And
"We're
it's-
looking
oh,
at
and it's
ourselves."
so- and it's right now. It's happening now. We haven't done that yet, but it's now.
And it went crazy.
So
ah,
great.
Crazy.
Mel Brooks is just.
Isn't he still alive too?
Mel Brooks is still alive.
Because he
Is
did
he?
a comedians
Yep.
in cars with
Yep.
Jerry Seinfeld
Mel
like
Brooks
last year, or 2 years ago.
Yeah, Mel Brooks is still
Isn't that
alive.
crazy?
Carl,
That is.
Carl Reiner was one that just passed
He did,
away
yeah,
he
yeah.
recently.
He did.
Mhm.
But they're on that same kind
Who
of
else?
I was gonna say that not Desperado. Well, Desperado's not a Western, but it's the one with that had Selma Hayek.
I
and,
would.
uh,
I would almost consider.
oh,
I would almost consider
the one with-
Desperado Western.
yeah.
Well,
I almost would. Yeah.
You're
You're talking about with Antonio Banderas.
Well, there's that one, but that I was not gonna say consider Western. It's the one with her and
Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
No,
She wasn't in that.
No,
was
no.
she?
No, well, she
Salma
made
Hayek-
it. I think she made
Salma
an
Hayek was
appearance.
in Desperado.
Yeah, but the guy who played in
Maybe I'm not thinking about that.
Sahara, what's his name? And who
Oh,
was
Matthew
also,
McConaughey.
no, he was also in That Thing You Do. He played the bassist. What's his name?
Steve Zahn.
Yeah, I was gonna think Steve Zahn too, but
Yes, him and Selma Hayek with Penelope Cruz was in a Western
wow.
about these two. It was these two females that were going on a.
I
guess I
think I know what
missed
you're
that
talking
one.
about, but here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the internet.
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
And they had the best.
and you're
Western,
saying Selma Hayek was in
yeah,
it, right?
Selma Hayek and Penelope Cruz. The best Western scene that I ever saw, which is really cool, was a slow motion shootout in a train, as bullets were flying by and they were moving in slow mo. And I was like, I need to see more of that in a Western. Like, why can't I get that fantasy style, Quick and the Dead of this scene in more Western? Like super crazy, off the fantasy realm. Because I've seen enough of that serious stuff, and I've seen the Quentin
I
Tarantino
love the
movies and
serious
whatnot.
shit.
So and then they're
Oh,
good,
yeah.
but I like
too.
seeing the over dramatic fantasy of Western.
You don't happen to know what year that was, right?
Hateful Eight was great.
That was good too.
That tripped me out. I was like, damn,
Fuck.
yeah.
That shit was. I think they're making it into a series.
Oh really?
Yeah, Quentin Tarantino's making it into a series
Okay.
for like Netflix or someone.
was it after Sahara?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
And-
it was after Sahara. Okay, so
and I
there's
think-
Sahara.
I think they're basically
Go ahead,
retelling
there you go.
the story.
Just scroll.
It's called Banditas or something like that.
Oh, well, then it's that one.
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah, no, it says right there.
Oh yeah, Banditas. I don't know why it popped in my head.
I bet anything
never heard
you
of this
saw
movie.
it because you saw it with
Selma
Salma
Hayek-
Hayek and
Selma Hayek and
Penelope
Penelope
Cruz.
Cruz.
Yeah, I've
Ah,
never seen
my
it.
first-
Your penis
First
tingled
and
and you
second
were like,
wife.
Well, I mean, on here it's classified as a Western.
Oh no, it is. It legit is. They're in that time period. And they're trying to
Oh, okay.
go back and defeat somebody, something
Wow.
like that. It was just that one scene that really drove my attention. Like I will always think of the best scene that I've seen in a Western was from that slow motion shootout.
That's
I was like,
that's
wow.
good though. That at least you took that away from.
I
that
know from the
movie.
rest.
Like,
Not to know that they're acting as two lead females and they're Hispanic.
of course, yes, yeah, of course. That's what. Yeah, that's completely forgot about that.
The new
Nice.
podcast are so.
I doubt that's why you were watching it though.
Right.
No, I legit watching it because I was like, Selma Hayek is
Right.
nice.
You were thinking with your head rather than your head, right? I'm pointing down and I'm pointing up.
He was
anyway.
thinking with both heads.
He's like, I'm not gonna refuse. I plead the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth.
It's a statement that we were talking about before. Philip, do you think The Chappelle Show could exist in today's time period?
Ooh.
Excluding COVID and all that stuff.
Okay.
And even, because we were talking about this before
That's a good
George
Floyd.
So, yeah.
nice callback.
No. Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
You think it could
I
exist
think it
in
could
today's
exist.
climate?
I think it could exist because it's Dave Chappelle, right? Like if it was anybody that wasn't Dave Chappelle, I don't know.
Lock the top one. If it wasn't Dave,
If it wasn't Dave, but he has so much cachet that he could redo the Chappelle show, and I think it would be fine.
damn.
Because
That's
it's
what I
him.
was saying. See,
Because
brothers.
The only reason
Hey.
I say no is because we've seen how controversial his stuff has been, and it's only a one shot.
But I don't think he cares. Like that's the
No,
thing.
I'm not saying I'm not. I know he doesn't.
He's talking
care.
about the audience,
But I'm
and that's
talking
what we're
about
on.
the people.
Yeah.
Would they actually stand for him for having him consistently every week do something as controversial as he did when he initially did the Chappelle
Yeah,
show?
no, I still think so because I still think that there's a good amount of the population that kind of wants to see that because he's very smart, right? Like I think, and again,
I'm not
that's
refuting that at all.
right. I think that's why I said because it's Dave Chappelle doing it because he's very smart at what he does and he doesn't pull any punches.
No, he doesn't.
But he does it in a way to where it not only doesn't make you laugh, but it actually makes you like really kind of think and really, really think about it. So yeah, I would be down for it. I think a lot of people would be down for it. But of course you're gonna have those people that are butthurt and are very kind of like super like, well, you can't, offend this or thing, and there's like the whole thing with comedians. Like there's a big thing amongst the comedians, a community that are like, well, that they feel that they, no matter what they do, even more so than before,
right.
that they're going to get essentially like, basically cancel culture. Basically, like you say something in your kitchen and it's like, he's a comedian.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, you still have these late night talk show hosts who are mostly comedians, the John Olivers and stuff like that, still doing it, being very, very serious, but still being very, very funny and, calling out things. And yeah, I'm pretty sure people like call for.
I think what he didn't mention though is that I'm not saying that it wouldn't exist. What I'm saying that it wouldn't exist like on regular basic cable.
Oh,
it would have to be like on a Netflix.
Oh, I see what
would
you're
have to
saying.
be like on a premium service because I don't think any network is going to run the risk of just like regular people watching that show. It would have to be some type of premium service like a Netflix or an HBO or somebody like that who would pick it up, who is willing to take that risk. A standard network, just a regular network like NBC, CBS, Comedy Central, TBS, they wouldn't. I feel they wouldn't pick something up like.
I mean, I could see like FX or FXX or whatever it's picking, which is essentially like Comedy
FXX,
Central.
yeah.
Like I still think like if Comedy Central wanted them back, I don't think that they would care because here's the thing: in the end, they're gonna want eyeballs, right? If it makes them money, if it gets those eyeballs on
Comedy
your
Central
things,
isn't the same,
like
same without 'em.
I mean, it goes back to the thing. It's like if you make some money in this capitalist society, a network will take that risk. And again, it's only because it's Dave Chappelle. Like if it's some random no-name dude that went off, no way that a network, even if they brought in numbers, they wouldn't have
because
that
I feel
risk.
like Key and Peele, kind of tried to pick up that mantle.
Yeah.
But they like played it incredibly safe as well.
Super safe.
Well, I think they're
so.
different. They're different. I wouldn't compare Key and Peele to Chappelle Show at all because they're different comedians. And even if you got them in a room, they wouldn't say, well, we were trying to copy Chappelle Show.
No.
I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, I totally get, like, I remember when Chappelle Show went off and then Key and Peele came on, I even thought, oh, is this trying to replace Chappelle? And I'm like, this is the same.
Took the skit format.
Right. No. Yeah, it had kind of the same format, but at the same time, after a while, I realized, like, I shouldn't try to take what they're doing and compare it to what kind of quote unquote came before it.
Right.
Excuse me. Even though that they probably themselves wouldn't be like, no, we weren't even trying to.
Yeah,
copy
they made their
Chappelle.
own thing, and I'm not talking shit about Key and Peele because I love that show. It was a great show.
And you see what Jordan Peele is doing now.
What came from
Us and Get Out and all this other stuff. He used that as a springboard. Like the funny thing
do
is,
what he really wanted to do. Yeah.
I think he really wanted to do Key and Peele too. I don't want to diminish. I'm throwing in my opinion of what he thinks. He should actually speak for himself. But if I had to guess, like, he probably wanted to do that. He put all his love and effort to it. He got the cachet and was like, okay, I want to do something on my thing. Yeah. And you know, when you think of Get Out, it was an independent. It was quote unquote an independent film, right? Like, it was very small. Not a lot of people knew about it. Only certain people think, and then word of mouth caught fire,
blew it up.
You know, and then he followed it up with us. So
yes, tell everybody about Noob when you listen to the show. Spread the word.
Oh,
blow us up.
Start that fire.
Word of mouth.
Start that
the only way
fire.
we're gonna grow.
But did you guys notice? And it's funny how none of you mentioned this because I thought it was crazy that in between Key and Peele and Dave Chappelle,
nobody cared about Carlos Mencia. Okay.
Or
nobody
Tosh
cared.
Pono.
Or Tosh. Well, Tosh is still going, isn't he?
He's still going, actually.
so you both knew it was.
Yeah, fuck Carlos Mencia. He's not even fucking Latino. Fuck that dude.
I know.
He isn't?
I think that's what there was a thing like that. He wasn't really. He's not a.
He's like Persian or something like that. It was something that Joe Rogan was talking about.
That was the only thing. I knew Carlos Mencia, but like the big thing when I hear his name, I just think of the whole Joe Rogan eviscerating.
I was so insulted by Carlos Mencia because he was really. He was really trying to exploit the culture.
He did a direct copy. Yeah. His intro was the exact same as Dave Chappelle.
Wow. Okay.
Like,
literally.
Fuck that dude.
Yeah.
Fuck that dude.
And I was like, wow.
I'm so glad all the comedians aired him out and said, "You're fucking a thief, dude. You're fucking fake."
Yeah.
I'm so glad that happened because.
Where's he at
that
now?
Dude.
I think he tried to go back and do some stand up long time ago.
We don't
Improv.
believe you.
But yeah, I don't know. And it would. I can't wait to actually get Philip to come out and do some comedy shows because I took Joe and we went.
I went to a comedy show in New York.
Yeah, he went to go. He actually ran in and
went
saw.
to the Cellar.
You went to the Cellar?
Yeah, the class. And you saw Ray Romano, right?
Yeah, he came in surprised at the end.
Nice.
I didn't expect it.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, like, everybody that had come up before him,
it was good.
Hilarious.
Okay, yeah.
Like, every one of them, I'm like, how do you not have your own show? Like, how are you not more famous? Because you are hilarious.
Yeah.
Right. And then, he came up and was a surprise thing. Even
how well did he do?
Oh, it was fantastic.
Yeah,
it was fantastic. Like, and he didn't. So he cursed a little bit and stuff because obviously, everybody loves Raven. Like, that's all I know. And I knew he was a stand-up comedian, right? So I knew that the stand-up world that he did is different from his TV persona.
Of course.
So, having seen his TV persona, it was nice to actually see it live in person what his comedy stand-up was.
Like,
and then you see the genius of these standout ones. I'm talking about the ones that get their own shows and stuff like that. You can see the different caliber of what they do, and you understand, that's why he got picked up by NBC, or that's why Dave Chappelle got his own show, or that's why Martin got his own show, or whatever, got into movies, or like you can tell it's the elites. But by the way, everybody else was still very, very good.
It's funny because when Keenan and I went to the Comedy Store, or was it the Comedy Store?
It was the Improv in Hollywood. Yeah,
like Donnell Rawlings came out at the end.
He
it's
did.
Nice.
How like I know he got his own little. Would you call it a show?
Segment.
He did get like a little show. No, he got like a small show, but how he didn't retain that is beyond me because this motherfucker is hilarious.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
but he also doesn't say hi to you when you try to. Say hi to
You're still bitter about that?
Maybe.
Oh my God.
Russell Peters came up to us and shook our hands. Was like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" Stuff like that. That was fucking awesome.
Nice.
But
fuck Donnell Rawlings.
He looked at you. He was like, "Oh, you're black."
He did.
I refuse.
He pretty much did. I just want to say, hey, I like your work, and
See, you should have been like, "Hey, my brother, what is up, my brother?"
You should have been like, Ashley Larry. Ashley Larry. Ashley Larry.
You look at me, you would be like, "Fuck you." That ain't even me.
I know.
See, that's when I know, yes, a network will pick up on Chappelle. Like, the fact that we're still quoting it, and if you did it the same way, like,
I'm not saying that it wouldn't exist.
You're just
but
saying
I was saying it wouldn't, like,
it wouldn't be on
major
Comedy Store.
network wouldn't want to do it because...
And that he would also get a lot of backlash.
Like I said, I don't think that they would, like if you're talking about the major four, NBC, CBS, Fox, all that, yes,
Yes,
it wouldn't
but
be
I
on there.
think
But
Comedy Central could
anything
still pick it
cable,
up.
quote unquote cable or streaming at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. I but yeah, Donald Rawlings is cool, but I wonder, probably because
Pauly Shore is still fucking dope too.
I haven't seen
I saw-
his recent stand-up. Was it good?
Yeah, I saw Pauly Shore at the Laugh Factory.
Yeah.
No, was it the Laugh Factory? No, it was the Comedy Store.
The Comedy
'cause
Store,
his
okay.
Mom
Yeah.
owns it, right?
Yeah.
So I saw him at the Comedy Store. Came out.
Yeah.
He wasn't even on the bill.
Yeah.
Nice.
And he just came out towards the end. I think who came out? Martin Lawrence.
wow.
shit.
Yeah, I think he was the headliner that
Wow.
night. That's
Nice.
why we went to watch him.
Oh.
And then Pauly Shore came out at the end, and we were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And he was fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, "Yo, I'm sober, guys. I've been sober for a while. It's just weird because I'm still funny and people still laugh at my jokes, and it
Nice.
kind of tells me that I never needed to do the drugs in the first place."
Nice.
He was
Nice.
just great. Like just
Yeah.
him.
It's really, I don't want to say it's shocking because if you just mention Pauly Shore,
You get MTV, you get all that
well,
stuff.
you get the
Seen
Pauly
him.
Shore.
Yeah,
You
you're
get
like,
the what Pauly Shore?
Weasel,
Really, that guy?
Like, I don't know.
You know, that guy, and
he was
then-
annoying as fuck.
but then you gotta imagine, like, at least as far as his film persona, early '90s stuff, not really.
He was a dude.
He,
He was
was
like,
like
you know,
dude
like,
and stuff, stuff like that. But then you gotta look at the back history. Started in
Yeah.
stand up. He had to go through those, like,
The gauntlet. Yeah.
the gauntlet. Like, I've seen, comedians in Cars Coffee.
Yeah.
And, Jerry usually has a lot of stand up comedians. And the one thing that they say is, like, that's one of the hardest things to do in life is to just get up in front of a bunch of strangers and try to make them laugh.
No,
With
I get it.
everybody, like, the cojones to just do that. Like, I would never do that. Like, if I had the choice between trying to do a stand-up routine or do karaoke in front of people, I'll do karaoke 100% of the time.
You
Like,
would.
I like doing karaoke. I have a horrible voice. Trust me, my wife can tell you, and anybody else I've done karaoke with can tell you I have a horrible voice.
Yeah.
But if I was given the choice between the dude, one of those, I karaoke 100%.
He'd fucking break it down. And I
Nope, not even gonna
will
try.
always love you.
Like, my karaoke songs are pretty much all rap songs where you don't really have to
So you have
carry
to hold the note.
hold a note or do anything. All you have to do is just kind of spout the lyrics. The funny thing is, though, and bringing up my buddy Victor again,
What's
because
up,
it's funny.
Shout out Victor, what up?
He
Shout out
doesn't
Victor.
listen to the show, so
Yeah,
fuck him.
yeah. But it's funny.
He
'cause
probably will after this. Like,
I
Oh,
mean,
my
like,
bad,
you do
Vic.
pay attention. I'm on this episode. No, but he hit me up yesterday because he was trying to figure out a way to see if he can do karaoke through like Zoom or something like that.
Ah.
And
it's doable,
well,
which is doable.
yeah, I mean, there's a ways to do it, but we were still trying to figure out the technical things because he had a specific website that he was doing it through and stuff like that. But typically, me and him are the ones that kind of lead the kind of charge to get people together, whether they're friends or coworkers or something, to get like karaoke.
That's Cianan.
And
Too.
everything. And dude has a really good voice, can't sing, but I'm like the backup guy. So like he'll do like the main parts, and you need like a whole bunch of chorus people to like and it's usually not just me because usually the songs I just carry everybody knows. So like I'm usually like the background guy to where my horrible voice blends in with everybody else.
It just matches the frequency.
I just happen to have the mic because usually no one wants to like take the
Yeah.
mic if they've done karaoke, especially not a lot of people. So I'll take the mic. I'll be here, but I'll like be next to somebody so I can like fade
next
it
to one who can
here,
hold
so-
the note. He'd be like,
Exactly, like
yeah. Pass it on.
exactly,
He's about to hit the note. Huh? That's right.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Do it again. Do it again.
Yeah.
Have you been to Brass Monkey over here in K-Town?
Is that a okay?
That's
so here's
a-
the
that's
thing.
a spot
So
for karaoke.
I got spoiled with karaoke through Victor. So I've been to a couple of karaoke
He's
places.
been to Boardwalk 11.
No,
You never been to
He hasn't
no,
been.
I've never.
See,
I don't know how you
so
got
here's-
spoiled,
So,
though.
so- no, I got
Fucking
spoiled.
Mac
I got
game.
spoiled in this way. So
You're doing the
first,
private rooms.
the first couple. That's what
You're
it
doing
is.
the private
So
rooms.
the
That's
first
what it
couple of
is.
times I went to karaoke, it was out in the open in like a bar or whatever, and then so I didn't do it because like I said I'm just gonna go upstairs because I know I have a bad voice. But I was enjoying it. It was with the crowd, whatever they were singing. I was like really, really good. And then when he found out, like, oh, I like actually going to karaoke and doing, just being in the social thing and doing it. He was like, okay, I'm going to look up some places. And so he introduced us or whoever else comes to Max Karaoke. So there was one over in Westwood that started.
Like in West LA.
And and it's basically a private room.
It's on
their
Sawtelle,
music. Their music selection was ridiculous. Like, I'm talking like the book was like this
like a
thick.
Bible.
It was like this thick. And it had, which I don't want to be too racist, but it had a whole bunch of Mexican and Hispanic songs. Because Victor is Mexican. He's my friend, and so
he's Mexican. He's my friend.
He's my friend. He's
Mexican friend. He's my
Mexican friend. I pass.
But basically, he so I knew that this place was legit because we've gone to places in K-Town and it's like 80% K-pop songs that we don't know the lyrics.
So you don't like the Korean stuff, but you're cool with the Mexicans.
Well, here's the thing.
So what happened was,
here's the thing. Like it wasn't that it was Mexican or Korean. It was just that the selection was much more varied and catered to a lot more people at Max Karaoke. Whereas from what the couple of places I went into in K-Town were more catered to the Korean population, and their American song selection was like maybe 2 or 3 pages, and it wasn't a lot. Where this catalog, I mean, I'm talking like 100 pages of songs of American, and then there was like 100 pages of Mexican songs. They also had Japanese songs and Korean songs. Like it was, and so that's not only the fact that it was a private room, but the fact that their music selection was so varied. I'm like, yes, I love this place.
Well, the Brass Monkey here in K-Town is like one of the least Korean oriented.
Interesting. Okay.
Karaoke joints.
The vibe, and there's a lot of black people that go there.
It's a dive bar. It's like a dive bar karaoke. It's literally like. It's the size of my apartment.
Yeah, it's not that big at all.
It's small. It's a very
okay.
I mean, for an establishment, it's a small. For a karaoke establishment, it's pretty small. But it gets so popular.
You'd be surprised how many hip hop songs you hear in that place.
COVID. Like,
yeah.
You wouldn't want to go there right now,
right.
but when everything gets back to normal, you want to go to Brass Monkey.
Okay, I'll try it out.
Brass Monkey and our bar is cool too. I like that's where I sung Biz Marquis' song for my birthday.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice. But it's open. Like you're doing it to the crowd.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You prefer the private rooms?
Well, no. I mean, I prefer the private rooms because I can do the.
And you're around people who you know.
But if I want to go up there and do like "Baby Got Back," I can do that without even looking at the monitor.
Yeah.
I can do "Forgot About Dre" without looking at the monitor. So if it's rap songs, I can do it. I'll do that in front of a crowd all day. But then if you wanted me to do like Whitney Houston's, Bodyguard soundtrack, I'm not even gonna. I'm not even gonna try. But I was saying like. With hanging out with him, a lot of Mexican songs, I'm like super down. Like,
you're good at singing.
You have your list?
I will do Liento by Juliet Venegas. I will do that song. I still need the lyrics on the screen because I don't know everything, but I know how the tone and goes. Like me and him do that one all the
Julieta
time.
Venegas.
How does that go?
I love her.
Singer, yeah.
See, I got her album. Like I have her saved. She is very good, and
she
I didn't know
is. She's
I didn't know
singer.
him. I didn't know it in
Julieta Venegas.
Well, I'm just trying to think of the song that they sing.
C is her best album.
Because there's one. My neighbors sing this Hispanic song, and it
was a Hispanic song. Yeah?
Well, I'm trying to make it generic as best as possible. It was. I don't want to say Mexican.
Was it Julieta Venegas?
See, I don't know.
They all sound the same. Is that what it is?
No, but it was just like I hear.
Stop, Keaton. Stop. You sound like an asshole right now.
Fuck
You're gonna generalize this.
No, so what? You know what?
You know what?
I don't care.
Okay, you're right. This is none of our business podcast. Go ahead. See, you don't even know what the hell you're talking about. Okay, yeah, that's dope though. But the thing about Brass Monkey is like everybody, like it's so close.
I go there, but
it's
I don't
so
sing.
small that everyone is there and everyone's like actively supporting you.
Yeah,
it's like even if you suck, they'll sing it for you.
Yeah,
it's like
you don't have to even sing. The crowd will sing for you.
Yeah, it's great. And if you're dope, like somebody will buy you a drink because they're like so happy that you did great. Like it's a
so Brass Monkey is your song.
No,
I have my song. Or is that would that be your song?
Brass Monkey.
That's the name. That's right.
That's the name of the spot.
What did you sing? Like, what is your song if you had to go up there and do it?
The Biz Marquee song.
The Bismarck. That's what I was trying to go.
But
back to,
I can also the one that I'm kind of comfortable with is Maroon 5 Sunday Morning.
Oh, that's a good one.
That one's not so bad because there's only one high pitched part in that song, and I don't have to really go that high because it doesn't really do that in that song. And I can always grab my nuts and really get it. Like yeah. But that one, I try to think of songs like Weezer songs and stuff like that I can do for monotone type stuff, or
Weezer
or Oasis.
Oasis.
Yeah, Don't Look Back in Anger or Wonderwall.
Oh, Wonderwall.
Those are easy because you can have like you can just
someday you find me.
You should do the crash. You should do the crash test. Something. You literally don't have to do anything.
You don't have to do shit.
But even at Red Hot Chili Peppers song, I forgot what it was called, but there was one that I think I can do comfortably in front of people.
Right.
But for me, it's not about my bad singing voice towards other people. It's about my bad singing voice to myself. I like my own humming, and I can do some low sounds singing to myself, which my ex really hated because she was a singer. She wanted me to belt it out, but I don't like.
No, I'm like you. Like
I don't like
if someone tried to teach me singing, it's like just sing your heart out and just like I know it would come out horrible.
And not for you. It's for me. The sound of my own voice. See, talking on these mics. It's a real challenge, and it's a very you guys should be proud of me that I've been doing this for so long because hearing my voice on this show and sometimes trying to listen back to it, I'm like I cringe. I cringe at my own voice.
But I've heard a lot of people like actors and stuff when you ask them, well, did you watch your own performance? Or
like,
no, I can't see myself. Just like I hear that a lot, so I can understand.
And that blends into karaoke. People don't understand it, but it's like. It's not because of you. I don't care what you think about my voice.
I feel like you have a great voice to do this. Like,
really, Joe?
Yeah.
Thank
No,
you.
no, you don't. No, and that's and I say that because it's not like you don't have to have a deep voice or a defined voice. Like you have a great voice because it's bright. No, it's bright.
Hey,
it's
Mickey
bright.
Mouse is here.
Even when your voice cracks and stuff, it's part of the
Keananism.
Je ne sais quoi, you know, like it's part of that. You know, it's part of the personality. Yeah,
that's why it still cracks.
I tell him that all the time. You know, but that's part of it. I that's why it's weird to me that you. Would
oh,
be
really?
Like,
So Joe, what is your song?
I have a few of them, but for sure, the one that I could do anytime, eyes closed, backwards, whatever, is "When Doves Cry" by Prince.
Nice.
I don't hear you
Here
sing
is
that
your
often.
black card.
Put that in my pocket with the other one.
You can take it from me because I don't use it. So
Nice.
Yeah, that's definitely mine.
Not that Prince is a black thing. Everybody at university loves Prince.
But I hear you sing. Well, maybe because it's in combination with you and Philly, where you're singing either Boyz II Men or Backstreet Boys or something like that.
Well, yeah. If I have someone who can sing with me, we'll do like NSYNC, Boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I hear that a lot from you.
Yeah.
I haven't really heard a lot of solo stuff from you. Well, no, it was not R. Kelly. What's that? There was something like a Genuine. I forgot what it was.
Pony
Bachelor,
or something? Or
maybe Bachelor.
The last time I did a Genuine, I did what's it called? So Anxious.
Oh,
by
okay.
Genuine.
That's a good one too.
I don't know what.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Everybody, Joe's getting the hard on right now. He just let him finish. Let him finish. There it is.
Right, if I said Ingrata, do you know what song?
Ingrata.
That's the other one. I don't do the fast parts. Victor does the fast parts, but as
that's
soon as
a
he
tough song.
Ingrata, oh man, I join in on that.
Too.
Oh, every time he puts it on, I'm just like, yes. And
what are they? What's their name? Damn, what's that group's name? It's not. It's no, it's not. Damn. Fuck, I don't remember what their name is.
I don't know who sings it, but I just know Ingrata, and I just know that when he does the where it just rambles on that third verse, and I'm just like Ingrata, and I'm just
Ingrata.
Trust me, if you hear it, it's like I said, I'm being open to other songs,
Okay.
and like it's on my playlist.
You know what? I'm gonna
just
put that
'cause
on
I'm
my
just-
list of
I'm-
songs.
If you
that's
can do
a great
it,
song,
it's
dude.
a great
Okay.
song. Especially if you know
It's
somebody else that knows
it's
the lyrics. But
ungrateful. It's like basically a dude telling the girl that she's ungrateful. It's
Oh.
it's a great song.
That way you like it.
No. Just because like musically, it's a great
it's
song. Like,
fantastic.
the instruments they use, just like the writing, the flow of it. It's
Good.
great.
That's
Okay.
another foreign language karaoke song I can just jump in on.
Yeah.
Whereas if he was just doing it by himself, it would be fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna play
But-
that
but
once it's over. Once the pod's over.
So I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
So I'm just looking at you
I'll,
like,
I'll
what
play
the
the
fuck?
song. I'll play the song. It's a great song.
Yeah.
Play a little Julia de Venegas as well, just to make sure that. That's,
Oh, I was like, what did you call me?
No. What you say? If you're into it, and I will repeat it. I
Yeah.
think C is her best album because from 1 to I think 16 songs or
She has
14
great
songs.
You listen to the whole
She's-
album.
the whole album. That whole album is C is good. Like I
Expound your horizons.
I
You know
heard
what?
Liento. I heard Liento. I'm probably not pronouncing that right, but I heard Liento, and I was like, "Who is?" Because it's kind of poppy-ish. She's kind of poppy. But then I was like, "Oh, okay, this is kind of good. Let me listen to the whole thing." And like the whole,
She has like an
place is
acoustic poppiness that she bounces back and forth. Yeah.
It's very
Okay.
easy, very easy listening and easy to get into.
Easy
I don't
on
know
the
any
ears.
of the words. I am not very good in Spanish. I am sorry. I did Spanish like 3 times at uni.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
But like but if Lindo comes on, if the words are there, I'll flow with my horrible voice. But it's very good. I love karaoke. So
Don't look at me. I'm in the salsa, merengue,
You are.
bachata.
You just don't know the names. You don't know the names. You just know how to dance it.
Exactly. I know what
he
my
is the
body
dancer.
needs to do when it comes on.
he is the dancer. He is the dancer of the group.
Yes.
That's right. Hump the air. Air hump.
Oh my god. Did I air hump? I didn't air hump at the dance, did I?
You mean the one?
The wedding?
Oh, my wedding. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what anybody. The
Bro,
only
he
thing.
wasn't paying attention.
the
To you.
only-
It was his wedding.
the
He
only-
was a little bit.
the only-
We did 2 songs together. Not that we were dancing together. So let me. What had happened was.
By the way, before you get into this, I really wish you were there. I really wish you because I invite you, but you couldn't go.
I don't think.
Nope.
He got an invite.
I'm
We don't
pretty
have to talk about this.
No, I think it was a limited.
It was a
engagement.
limited.
It was
amount
a
of people.
limited
Yeah.
engagement.
and it was already filled up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. Man, I would have squeezed your ass in there if I could have.
That'd been great. Yeah.
No, I mean, I think you would have had a really good time.
Well, I heard, like you had the stormtroopers come out. That
were
was,
fantastic.
It was
I
great.
would have cried. I was like, this is beautiful.
Stormtroopers
Who's that
were great.
guy? I just love Star Wars.
Yeah, that was. I like the fact that they didn't just stick around for the
No, they
walkout.
stayed for the whole,
So-
almost the whole
Oh,
thing.
that's dope.
So yeah, so they came down like when
Yeah.
the now
walking
pronounce your
out,
husband and
yeah,
wife
yeah.
make his bride. So I kissed her, and then they usually play the music and you walk out, and so they played the music, but then there was a record scratch, and the Imperial March came on. They came down, they took me and Trisha out, and I thought that was gonna be it. Like like me and her knew about it. My mom knew about it because she had to protect the bathroom where they were getting changed, so no
okay.
one found out. Like Keenan didn't know. None of my groomsmen.
his own brother.
No one knew about this happening. So that was fantastic. But I always thought
The
by
DJ
the way-
knew obviously because they cut.
he knew. And by the way, another shout out to Trisha because she was the one that got him.
The DJ?
for
No,
us.
the
no, the
Star
Stormtroopers.
Troopers.
But yeah, no. So
So
they
you
came
guys
and
just
I
like-
actually
yeah.
thought it was gonna be it. Like I thought that was it. Like you come down, you take us out, and like that was it. But they hung out, took photos
lots
with
of
everybody. They had photos. Like everybody was like hanging around them and taking like photos and stuff. So that was just an amazing thing.
Were they
But
from
yes.
the 501st? Or?
No, so we tried to get the 501st, but because they're so popular, they don't really do it anymore.
Oh yeah. Well, that makes sense because they're.
Because everybody's going to be
Huge. Yeah,
asking
yeah,
them
yeah.
and stuff like that. So,
Okay, can you do something for me real fast?
sure.
Can you tell Keenan who the 501st is? Because he says that he's a Star Wars fan, but apparently he doesn't know who the 501st is.
Okay,
We've
are you
already
talking
had
about
this
in the?
discussion.
Okay, well,
I'm talking.
okay, well,
Joe's
okay.
fucking with you,
So,
Philip.
so in the quote unquote real
He's
world,
literally gonna tell me.
in the okay,
Hey,
then
you
never
deserve
mind.
it.
I don't need. I don't need to
deserve
tell
it.
you.
I'm
And
just-
if Joe's already kind of raked you over the coals,
No, we had a
I'm not gonna
long
do it.
segment on the show about him telling me who the 501st was, and among so there's a lot of stuff I don't know about Star Wars.
Of course.
However,
Yeah,
me and Philip used to make Star Wars home videos
that
with
is
our Star
true.
Wars toys.
That is true.
That
As
doesn't
kid-
make you a diehard Star Wars fan either, Keenan. I'm okay. So if you and Phil
He read
have pretty much the same upbringing,
Yes.
why does he know more about Star Wars than you?
because
do?
he
Oh
read
no,
he read the
I
he-
super got into it.
he read the books.
Like I went into the books.
he
Yeah,
did, he
like,
played
for
the
me.
games. He played Star Wars games that I didn't want to play.
Yeah.
Like he went full force into.
I really jumped into the
universe.
I really jumped into it.
Okay, Keenan. You know what? Okay. You know what? Okay, you're a Star Wars fan. You there? Okay, sure.
I'm a fan. I'm not a super fan. I'm not a hardcore fan. I'm just a fan.
He's
And
not.
it's-
He's not a theologian of the Star Wars,
Right.
which is fine.
I'll
Like,
still invite you
which
to
is
the
fine.
movies.
Oh my
and
God.
Tell you about the show.
I'm just happy that Star Wars is now not a
Nerd thing?
nerd specific thing.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about across the board, like
Mhm.
Star Wars, comic book movies, Marvel, Batman, all of that.
All of it.
Like,
Yeah, nerdum
I
is
have-
not.
Yeah, no,
It's not a
like, all
pariah
that-
anymore.
Exactly, and I will admit that I was, I genuinely had a little like yes of joy when, and it happened like a few years ago, but when I forgot what movie, I forgot what Marvel movie it was, but it basically overtook Titanic for like the highest grossing film.
That must
Now
be
the
the first
now there's
Avengers,
multiple.
right?
Yeah,
It
I don't know
probably
which one it
Avengers.
was, but now there's probably multiple. Like if you
Or
look
Iron
at,
Man
like,
3 because
Yeah,
I know
something like
Iron
that.
Man 3
Like,
sucked,
Iron Man
but it
3
was still
but it
like
still got, like, a
fucking
lot of
mega
movie.
popular.
But like if you look at the top grossing movies of all time, adjusted for inflation and stuff like that, like the top like 10 are all nerd pariah
that's right.
franchises
They are.
that
Yeah.
we were getting
Shit
teased
for,
about
like,
big
and
time.
all this other
Big
stuff. And so I was just like a little yes, because Titanic at the time was the kind of the pinnacle, because that was the one that all the young girls and women went to go see
Yeah,
over,
no,
over
you're
and
right.
over and over again. And so that was like always number one. And now, you had the Godfather and stuff like that. But
I
like
saw-
as soon as like the nerd films started making more, I mean, I saw Titanic.
I
too.
saw
It's
Titanic.
fantastic.
Yes,
Fantastic.
Maybe like 3
Yeah.
or 4
I
times.
did too.
Romeo
By
and
yourself.
Juliet.
You saw it first time.
Just
with
Leo.
someone
You
else.
know,
Leo. You could have
90s
made
Leo
it.
was just wow.
That raft was big
Paint
enough for
me
both
Leo.
of you.
Paint me Leo.
like one of your
French
French girls.
Yeah. So I was just so happy that, and still am, that now that a lot of that,
That
the
nerdum
the
isn't,
nerd culture is
yeah,
now
it's-
With a whole new
in the
theme
popular-
park. Yeah.
in the popular lexicon now. Like, and
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever going to go back. Like, they had like a small golden age, and like what was it, 60s or 70s, where Batman and Superman were super popular, and
and then
they
it
came
went
out
down.
with Chivalry, and it kind of came down. There wasn't
Yeah.
really anything, so it had its like thing. But I think now seeing I don't think that it can go back. I don't think that there's going to be like a low.
Would you
where it goes
consider
back to
like
what it was
the
before.
late? Well, I would probably consider the 90s like the silver age of nerdum.
Like for
'Cause
like
we had,
specifically
like-
for movies or
Yeah,
like or
just
entertainment,
movies,
like visual
movies and entertainment, and just in general. Like we got things like Blade, we got things like the
Right.
Punishers. We got movies like that.
Yeah, you got Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Turtles,
was
okay.
hot. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
It was silver
was-
age or bronze. Like it was really
I
starting.
would say bronze.
Oh, okay.
I would say bronze more so than silver.
Because the
oh,
peak
go
is
ahead.
the end of the 90s when Blade came in. And
Blade
real-
came out like 98.
Yeah, no,
99.
yeah.
Yeah. Or 90.
I think Blade
Six?
came out a little bit like 96, 97.
Was
I
it?
think.
I think it was
a little
earlier.
bit
maybe.
earlier.
I think it was part of the
Because I think
95.
Spider-Man came out around 2000 or
2000.
2001.
I think it was
Yeah.
2001.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So Blade
maybe that's
was
the silver
95.
age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because
Yeah.
Sam Raimi killed that shit.
Yeah,
When-
when Spider-Man came out, it was
was like,
it was kind of dark. Now,
wait a
technically,
minute.
Blade should have gotten more of the credit, especially for Marvel.
Yeah, but it was
But-
right there on the. It was
Yeah.
that turning point.
It was
Right.
that kind of thing of like, oh,
Because after Spider-Man was Iron Man
no. So Spider-Man came out, then Spider-Man 2.
Mhm.
and then Iron Man.
I think Iron Man came out after that, and then Marvel took it over.
'Cause
Because
I thought
remember,
that's-
Spider-Man still isn't quote unquote Marvel owned
Right.
as far as the movie
Right.
franchises are concerned.
Because I thought those were the peaks. I mean, I didn't really realize about Spider-Man, especially its time period, but I thought the real peaks was Blade, Iron Man, and then the Christopher Nolan Batman really peaked up the interest in
Nolan's Batman.
Yeah,
came
Nolan's
out
Batman
like
came in 2005, 6 or something.
Right.
Like Batman Begins.
Batman Begins. Yeah.
Because Dark Knight came out in 2010.
By
the way,
2008.
podcast, we should know these numbers.
It's
We're just
2008.
roughly.
I want to say Dark Knight came out in 2008.
Yeah.
Dark Knight was 2008.
But I think there were significant movies that really outshine, that made other Hollywood companies go, we need to start making something like that.
Our properties.
Yeah.
They've owned them for a while now.
Right.
And they just weren't using them.
Yeah, until
They
somebody
didn't
came
think it was
along.
popular.
Right.
And then it made billions of dollars, and they're like, whoa, we
Yeah.
have a property too.
Yeah. And then Disney goes, I'll take that.
I'll take
and
all
that,
of them.
and that.
You're not using that. I'll scoop that right up. I'm going to put that in my pocket.
Here's some Disney dollars.
What?
Yeah.
You can take Star Wars too? Well, yeah, sure. Let's take Star Wars
Yeah.
as well. Let's take
Star Wars on the
property.
market?
Yeah. I thought,
George.
didn't we all say that wasn't going to happen, all three of us, that
Yeah,
Disney was
I
not
thought it
going to
wasn't
buy out
gonna happen.
Fox?
I might have said that back in the time, but
Well,
I,
I
mean,
didn't-
I don't know.
I could have swore we all were thinking, like, no, Disney's not going to, no way George Lucas is going to sell this stuff. No way.
But that's not
is gonna-
Fox. That's Lucasfilms.
Yeah.
Well, I
mean,
thought Fox.
well,
had a-
Fox distributed them.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. They have no
But
personal
George
stake.
Lucas owned Star
Yeah,
Wars.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
no, he owned
Star
it. Like,
Wars franchise.
yeah, if you would have asked me, would George, after the Phantom Menace and the prequels, because he still owned them at that time, after that, would he have sold to
Probably
Disney?
after the Phantom Menace.
No, I didn't
Oh, okay.
think that would happen. I thought that was
I didn't,
his
because he did the
baby's-
Clone Wars,
He
and
did.
they were
Yeah.
developing a bunch of little things.
Yeah,
So I wouldn't have seen that sale.
yeah,
happen.
no, I didn't think that he would give up that kind of creative freedom to do it his way,
Okay.
all the way through to obviously
But he couldn't handle it. I mean,
7,
he's
8, 9.
getting kind of old, right?
Well, I
No,
mean,
but
Steven
you look
Spielberg
at
is
other,
still
Steven
doing
Spielberg is like
movies and
just
stuff
as
like
old
that. I
as
don't
he
think-
is.
I mean,
Yeah, you look at Martin Scorsese; he's fucking older than them, and he's
Yeah.
still fucking
He's
making
practically their
films.
grandfather. Yeah.
He
Yeah,
is a
he
grandfather,
He is.
literally.
Okay.
Yeah. So no, I mean,
So-
I wouldn't have thought that he would have sold the franchise to Disney. But I mean, who knows? Like, that's his own prerogative. I don't know what's in his mind.
Well, they had a
and-
connection. They had Star Tours. They had Indiana Jones the Ride. It almost seemed like it might be inevitable that Disney's just waiting to pick that up because of their involvement.
because they had the
Maybe.
rides already
Okay,
at their
yeah,
parks.
yeah.
Maybe.
yeah.
I can see that.
I can
It's
see
back
that.
on top. Yes.
Hold on there, Bucko. No, but it's just weird. But then I could see, maybe he wanted Star Wars to go somewhere that he wasn't able to take
Maybe.
it because of his restrictions.
Maybe.
He couldn't take
Oh.
those chances. Like,
Okay.
there are things that I want to do, but financially, I don't want to do that.
Maybe.
So he's like, hey, Disney will take that risk.
Right.
They
And
got
Disney made their
dollars
money
for
back
days.
in tenfold, didn't they?
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. They're
Jesus.
They're
In the
they're
pocket.
making.
It's
money
like it
hand
never
over
like
fist.
that money's like.
Yeah,
we
no,
spent
they don't
that.
not quite close to getting a monopoly, but they're very. I wouldn't say they're
They could.
they're
right?
bigger.
They're the biggest
Well,
right now
the-
for sure.
Well, if
Are
you,
they?
They
well,
own Fox.
they're
They
the,
own
Lucas.
they're
They
the
own-
biggest.
okay.
But if you're talking about a monopoly of like all entertainment, well, the whole thing about a monopoly is they're not supposed to exist,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Like that's the one thing within our culture and our government and stuff like that. Monopolies aren't supposed to happen, right? You're always supposed to have
With
free
huge
market
air quotes.
competition,
Yeah.
with huge air
Huge.
quotes. But I don't think they will because the company I work for, which is Comcast,
Holler, what's up?
subsidiary.
Well,
of-
now it's Comcast.
well, it's
You're
kinda-
a
well,
legit company that you work for.
well, I work for DreamWorks,
Yes.
who is owned by Comcast,
Yes.
but Comcast owns ABC Universal,
Yeah.
and NBC, and all that. So Comcast is essentially Disney's competitor,
Competitor,
like right
their
now.
rival,
Like
right.
Fox used to be a part of that, but compared to those two, Fox was still kind of like third place,
Yeah.
because you had still had Warner Brothers that was still kind of
Okay.
in there as well and stuff like that. So, but as far as like a company that owns multiple stuff,
Right.
yeah, it's Disney and then
Comcast.
Comcast.
What about
slash
Viacom?
Universal.
Doesn't Viacom own Comcast?
Viacom is like they own like Nickelodeon and all those stuff. I think
Paramount.
Viacom is like Paramount.
Paramount.
Thank you.
Oh.
And I think that's still independent.
Yeah,
no one
it is.
really owns Paramount. I don't think yet.
Paramount's
So
still doing their
it was like
thing. Okay.
Fox, Paramount, Comcast /
Yeah, but Paramount has its own little little market.
Corner.
Yeah,
Okay.
it has its own little
Yeah,
thing.
they're-
But if we're not like Disney.
Yeah,
or,
not at all.
You know, not like Disney. So
I fuck
when
with
you say
Paramount.
so when you say if
It's right
Disney
next
is ever
to
going to have a
Peru.
monopoly, unless they can unless something dramatic happens to Comcast, I don't think it will ever happen. But
like a
but you're
buyout?
still limited. Yeah, like something like that. Like I don't think it'll happen. Like Comcast is like
They're
gajillions about. I don't
fucking
even.
Oh, yeah?
know.
huge.
They're
Yeah,
huge.
dude.
Because you got to keep in mind the major difference when I have these conversations with buddies. The major difference
Mm-hmm.
between Comcast and like Disney is Comcast owns other stuff that isn't
Yeah,
just
that isn't-
Universal. Like they own the cable, like actual
Right.
cable.
Isn't AT&T Comcast? It's AT&T Comcast, right?
AT&T is Time Warner, which is owned by
Spectrum.
Warner
Oh.
Brothers, which is
No?
Spectrum. They're all
Spectrum,
kind of mixed
yeah.
together.
Okay.
But
God, that's
so
weird.
they own more stuff. So like as far as net worth, Comcast actually might be worth more
Than
than
Disney?
Disney. Don't quote me on that. But I'm only taking into account.
And I think they were vying for
Comcast's
Fox
other
as
stuff.
well.
Yeah, when Fox was like, "We're gonna sell," like
Wow, okay.
Comcast
It was
was looking at it
Comcast
too.
and Disney, like, yo,
But yeah,
it's gonna
Disney-
be one of these motherfuckers.
Disney snatched them.
But I don't think I guess I'm saying I'm kind of glad Disney bought him up because I don't think Comcast would have taken. Oh wait, no, that's Fox. I'm still associating Fox with Lucasfilm for some reason, but
Yeah, when you get into the distributing and all this other stuff,
distribution,
there's other
it was
things-
just-
like
and
because
they
there's some
lost
things
that,
like
yeah.
the one I agree. There's some things like, for example, like Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
That show.
I love
Like
We love this
that
show.
was it was on Fox.
Yes.
but I think it was produced by like NBC.
by NBC.
Which is
But
why it's on there
which
now.
is on it now. But like it confuses you because you're like, wait a second, it's an NBC show,
Yeah,
but
like-
it's on Fox, or
Exactly.
like it's a CBS show, but it's on NBC. Like
Yeah.
it's so weird how distributing and who actually produces the show and
I really
it's-
hope NBC doesn't cancel it. because
They
that's
Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
absolute- Yeah.
I heard the latest. Again, I just heard on news headlines was that they were trying to restructure how the show will be after basically the
Oh, okay.
police brutalities and stuff that's been
Yeah.
happening.
Oh, yeah.
So
I
I
remember
don't
that.
think they're going to cancel the show, but they might kind of rework it to where. How they're gonna do it, I don't know. But the people up top are looking into the situation.
Oh no! Oh no! I hate when they say that. They're looking into the situation.
I mean, it kind of goes back to your Chappelle question, right? It's like,
Yeah.
but the difference is that's a network show.
It's a network
that's
show.
on NBC, so they actually, I don't think they have to, but
I love the
investors and all
99.
those-
They did- they
Brooklyn
did-
Nine-Nine is
They did
fantastic.
great. What is it? 6, 7 seasons now?
I think they're on
up there.
6.
Yeah, I think it was
they're on
6. I think it was 6.
I think they're currently on 6, which is good because I didn't even think it was going to last past like 2 or 3.
Yeah,
To be
sound
perfectly honest,
Every
For
time
Alternate
Joe
Amy
sees
are my favorite.
I'm like, I always come to Joe and I'm like, oh, there's a new episode of Brooklyn. He's like, yeah, dude. And I think I'm right now currently 4 or 5 episodes behind because I had no idea.
I think I'm actually a complete season behind.
Yeah.
To be
Oh,
perfectly
really?
honest, I'm way behind on a lot of shows.
And they
There's
filmed
just
that.
a lot of shows out there. I can't keep up.
It
with all
really
of them.
is.
I
Like
can't
there are
keep up with
shows that I
everything.
don't watch only because I forgot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I used to watch them. Like
I'm glad I
like
finished
all
Jack
the
Ryan.
CW shows, like all the
Oh, yeah.
Arrowverse stuff.
I didn't see it.
Dude, I was into it with you. Like I was following.
Yeah.
I was following Arrow. I was following the Legends.
Legends of
I was-
Tomorrow.
I was following Flash. I was following. I was waiting for Black Lightning to quote unquote be a part of the CW.
I don't think they
the
were
Arrowverse.
gonna-
They weren't until they did the Crisis on
Oh,
Infinite Earths,
Crisis.
and they brought them all together.
Oh.
So now he's official. But I had heard Black Lightning was really really good, so I was waiting until like multiple seasons were on, so I could
So
just
you can
kind of run.
binge it.
Yeah, that. But Supergirl.
I started watching Supergirl.
Supergirl.
It's not bad.
Supergirl is actually pretty good. I think the second season is a little better than the first,
Oh,
and then
okay.
subsequent seasons after that. But like you, I was constantly watching all Batwoman. I was watching all the new ones. So
I
was
haven't
constantly-
watched Batwoman.
I was kind of watching all of them,
Mhm.
trying to keep up because they would have the
But
crossover
there's
event,
so
and I was
much.
like, "There's just too much. Like I can't do it. Like I didn't finish Arrow. Like I'm only halfway through the final season of Arrow, and then because I wanted to see the Crisis on Infinite Earth thing. I just there was a lot of episodes of things, and so when people were like, "Oh yeah, this is Oliver's daughter," I'm like, "What?
What?
I'm like, man, I have to go back and
Spoiler
watch
alert.
that. Yeah, sorry.
No, it's
spoiler
all
alert
good.
if you
Yeah,
haven't-
it's all
if you
good.
haven't watched
That's
it.
cool.
But
I
yeah,
don't watch
it's
it.
just way too much
It is.
stuff.
So now
Like-
is it oversaturated of comic book lore?
Well, I'm not
for
just
the Arrowverse.
For everything. Is it too much
Arrowverse,
comic
yes, because now
stuff?
there's like Star Girls out
There's
there.
so
They try
much
to do
shit.
Swamp Thing.
Because there's a lot of
I
comics.
canceled after like
obviously.
2 episodes.
Doom Patrol is dope.
Doom
though.
Patrol is supposedly good. I haven't
That's
seen
another
it.
one.
Really
So,
good.
This
Titans is great.
So this
love
isn't
Titans.
like it. Obviously, you love it a lot, but is it gonna be too much? Is it?
I'll be honest.
Kinda
I'm a
close to being
little.
too
I'm
much?
a little oversaturated, in so much as that I can't keep up with everything.
Yeah, it's hard.
I would like to. I would like to keep watching all these
It's
shows.
like another
watch Future
universe
Pros
that
and
has
stuff
to
like.
be a part.
Yeah,
of.
okay.
I've been picking my spots. So I think Star Wars is still number one for me.
Mhm.
Anything that comes out. So
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
Mando.
The last season of Clone Wars.
Oh,
Joe,
Did you watch
Of
the whole
course
thing?
I
Oh,
watched
Okay,
yeah.
dude.
yes.
I mean, you see my mask. Okay, I'm sorry if we're bogarting this conversation. Sorry, Keenan, if you're out of it, if you haven't seen it.
so
But
sports.
he
the
doesn't even know who Ahsoka is.
Ahsoka
He doesn't
Tano.
even know who she is. Thank you.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. No, that's fine. Here's why I
Only
say it's
because
fine.
that's
Here's
your
what I'm saying.
brother.
Oh my
No, here's
God.
what I'm saying. Because I think Ahsoka is the borderline. Is
It's a transition.
Ahsoka is the litmus test of where you're at within the Star Wars lore, right?
Yeah. Oh,
So we talk
God.
about people that are fans of Star Wars, and I like Star Wars, I like the movies and stuff like that.
He's a
But
fan
they-
of the old Star Wars.
right? That or even the later movies. and
Ahsoka
stuff like that,
Tano's
right?
not in the original 3.
Right, no,
Bruh.
that's what I'm saying. There are people that follow Star Wars that are just strictly the movies, right?
Right.
Like you see all the prequels, you see the original ones, and you see the sequels, right? Because you're in the movie, you're in the Skywalker.
You
arc.
want to stay in the
You're
Skywalker canon,
arc,
yeah,
right?
But technically,
But
you're part of it.
But if you mention Ahsoka Tano and no one really knows who you're talking about, or Harrison Dula, or Kanan Jarrus,
Your dick just
or
get hard, Joe, right
anybody-
now?
or-
Little bit.
or anybody like that, that will let you know, like
Ezra Bridger.
Ezra Bridger, that will kind of let you know where your Star Wars kind of level is. And if you don't,
cast.
that's fine. It's like, okay, I would say to my brother, be like, okay, if you're into the Star Wars movies and you like them and your thing, if you have time, I would highly recommend you watch the Clone Wars.
Yeah, we're supposed to watch
Highly.
it here with Joe. I
Like,
tried.
I would highly recommend
tried.
it because what it does is it does the thing like you're talking about the Disney with the George Lucas. What it does, and even though George Lucas did start Clone Wars, by the way, it introduces you to other characters. They interact with characters. The Obi-Wan is in there. You obviously get to follow and see what Anakin Skywalker was doing between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. So it fills in a lot of those gaps, but you get introduced to people like
Fucking
Ahsoka
super
Tano.
awesome characters.
You get
man.
for me, I was wearing this kind of Darth Maul mask. Like the fact that he was able, and by he I mean George Lucas and Dave Filoni, which by the way, I'm putting this out on record. Dave Filoni, you need to be the head guy. I'm not saying you need to replace Kathleen Kennedy.
I am.
But but you need to be the guy that everything kind of goes through.
'Cause
Like
he
the
cares.
Kevin Feige of
You
or
see
Feige of Star
Kevin
Wars.
Feige.
Yeah.
He's the guy that did all the Marvel. He oversaw
Yeah.
all the Marvel.
I always
So-
say Faye.
I say
don't know
I think
why
it's Feige. I
Is
think it's
it?
Feige.
I always say
don't know.
Kevin Feige. Like I don't know, but it's probably Feige.
When he comes on the episode,
I
we'll
used to
let him
say
know.
I used to
Ask
say
him.
Cayenne pepper. So I don't know. I was like, get me wrong.
But yeah, so what I would say is those guys did something for a character that showed up in the movie and literally only had, I think, one line that was like "Yes, Master" or something when he got the holovid from Palpatine, Darth Maul, to do what he did, which a lot of people, if you watch the movies, you're like, Darth Maul.
Yeah, he got
Didn't he
sliced
get
in half.
sliced in half?
That's
Yeah.
all
What
you
is
know.
he doing?
That's all I
Like,
know.
That's all you know.
But the thing is I mean,
One of the
and if you-
greatest villains,
and it-
anti-heroes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's an anti-hero, but he's definitely got
Misunderstood.
He definitely got more badass, and he had a level. What he did, they gave him a level of depth of a character you didn't expect, and and watching Clone Wars, because granted, you have 7 seasons, over 100 episodes to build these character arcs, which you can't really do in a 3-hour movie, right? But if you've seen like Rogue One, or not Rogue One, I'm sorry, if you saw Solo,
he's at the end.
so again, I'm sure people saw Solo and was
They're
like,
like,
what the fuck?
what?
But that
Darth
took
Maul.
place-
But anybody that watched
Yeah,
Clone Wars be like, yeah,
Yeah.
he's still alive,
Yeah.
and he's doing
Yeah.
some criminal
He's running the criminal underground.
So that's cool that the director or writer of that
was an
movie
anti-hero.
brought him in, to continue what Feige's doing. I don't know if Feige had involvement in that movie.
No, Feige. Oh, sorry.
He's with Marvel.
Feige is with Marvel.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I lost.
What I was saying, I was comparing Dave Filoni's role potentially for Star Wars to what
Dave Filoni
does.
should absolutely have control.
He should have complete
everything.
creative control.
Did he
of
have
it.
involvement with Solo?
I mean, he
'Cause they
was
added
George
Darth
Lucas's
Maul.
apprentice. If you
Yeah,
really
no,
think
yeah.
about
If you
it,
see
yeah.
the
So-
behind the scenes, yeah.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. So if I watch any of the behind the scenes from the original movies, will he be
No.
around on set?
No, he was like a kid. He
Yeah.
was like a child.
Oh.
He was like I think Dave Filoni is roughly my age or our age. Like he's got to be
Yeah.
like if he's not
Probably
my
like 5
age,
years
he's
older
probably
than
like
us.
Okay.
like 40
Okay.
or something like that.
Okay.
So, but he grew up loving Star Wars. What I would recommend if you want to learn, you watch The Mandalorian, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Watch Gallery.
Yeah, watch
Gallery.
Gallery. So Gallery is the kind of behind the scenes of the making of The Mandalorian.
Yeah,
That's
it's
on
a
the Disney Plus?
it's a
It's on Disney
documentary
Plus.
series
It's on Disney
about the
Plus.
making
Okay.
of
Yes.
Mandalorian.
Okay.
So you'll be introduced to him,
Mhm.
and he'll kind of give his story and where he kind of came from.
Yeah.
and you'll click. Like I don't know if you saw it, but did you see his explanation of the Phantom Menace or what he
Oh
thought?
yeah, for
Completely
sure.
changed my mind on what I thought
For
about
sure.
that movie. 100%.
Yeah.
Like everybody obviously bags on it and stuff like that, but like after like hearing his explanation of what he thought of it should be, and we all should kind of take a piece of art and kind
We
of figure it out for
yeah.
ourselves. But what he did, I'm like, holy crap. Now that if that's what George was, trying to do with the
Which I
Phantom
wouldn't
Menace,
take it away because Filoni really
Exactly.
understands George.
and I'm like, oh, like even
I'm telling you, I've been telling you, Keenan.
Dude,
Yeah,
I mean,
I've
no,
been-
seriously. Like, the one thing about like, I don't know if you started watching Clone Wars from the very beginning.
I did.
but I
did.
didn't. I didn't see it until maybe they had the first big break. So
Okay.
I guess it was like season 5 before season
Oh,
5,
yeah,
season
yeah.
6, and now season 7 came out. And I had heard about it. I had saw the little animated one that they did. That was a little animated. That
The
they
movie?
had.
The Dexter one that looked like Dexter.
That looked like
or-
Dexter. That was on
the-
like
what's his
Cartoon
name?
Network.
who did Samurai.
Samurai.
Goretsky, the guy that did he's the guy
Samurai
that did
Jack
Dexter's
and also.
Laboratory.
Yeah.
He has that new show called Primal.
Yeah.
on Adult
Oh
Swim.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's Primal.
Yeah, he did. So I saw those, and I thought those was kind of cute and stuff like that. But I
cool.
think I was
Very little speaking.
I will I will admit that I think I was a little turned off by the art style. Right, I saw the way it looked, and I was like, it looks like it's for kids.
Of
Like,
the
I don't
CG
wanna-
of
yeah,
Star-
like
okay,
the CG, like the look of like the first season. Like I was
Yeah.
like,
I mean, I'm telling you, I had to. I
got
got
better.
through it.
oh yeah, no, it got better. And so I was kind of turned off. But then that's my thing. That's my jam. Got to get in the stars. So I was like, I had to watch this.
Gotta.
And then,
You
man.
see all these characters and the development. You get into the depths, the lore. Like you learn about the father and
It completely. Not only did it introduce a new side to Darth Maul that he was more of a blank slate.
Yeah.
But the fact that what he did with Anakin Skywalker, right? So if you just focus on the movies, and I'm talking about the prequel movies, and you see what it is. I mean, a lot of people had judgment on like he's kind of whiny as a kid, and then he's like mopey as the teenager,
Yep.
and then in Attack of the Revenge of the Sith, it was kind of okay because that's when he started to turn.
Yeah.
But it still felt like a weird jump between Clone
Between
Wars.
Clone- yeah,
which
Attack
was
of the Clones.
was the second prequel movie.
Attack of the Clones to Revenge.
to Revenge. So
You're like,
no-
damn, that's a big ass transition.
Well, they never
and
should
if
have
you watch
started
Clone
him.
Wars,
Yeah.
you get to
Fills
see
in all-
what the fuck
and
happened.
it completely 180'd me about what I thought, because I thought the way his character arc was strictly just based on the movies was very throwaway.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like he becomes Darth Vader, and the way it is, I didn't feel it. Like I didn't understand why. I didn't understand like this dude is supposed to be super important. I never understood how you can go from that to that, right? And they just didn't do it well in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Clone Wars fills that gap and 180s it. There are so many incidents in there where you're just like, where he has a response to something like Obi-Wan might say, and you're just like, what? Oh, that didn't expect that. And then you kind of connect, he's going to be Darth Vader. So I was like, oh, there's a little bit of that seed that just kind of grew a little bit of like, You can kind of see a little bit of the dark side seeping in. It's not 100%.
And you would see it
And it's just
multiple
level.
times throughout that series. Like, ooh, wait a minute. Now he's okay. Now he's responding a little heavier. Oh, shit. Okay, he's talking back. Like, yeah, you see it. You see that.
And the funny thing is, in a lot of it has to do with how the Jedi were perceived at the thing, and a lot of the things that Anakin wanted to do. I'm not throwing too much away if you want to see the series, but a lot of it was kind of fighting against the Jedi code, and there was a lot of things that the Jedi did that if you were just like a regular citizen, you were just like, what are you doing? I don't get it. And Anakin was kind of that voice of like, no, that's not right. We should be doing XYZ. And they were like, no, but this is the Jedi code. And I'm like, ugh.
The last 2 seasons of the
so
Clone
you felt
War
for him a little
just,
bit
like,
more.
really fuck.
Yeah.
Like, or now 3 seasons, because Ahsoka, with what happened to her with the Jedi Council, like in the 5th season, you're like, oh shit. After that, it was like, damn.
Yeah.
Like now you're really like, I could see why he'd have a perception of the Jedi Order. And how the council treated him and how they treated Ahsoka.
Oh, so you're supporting Darth Vader? Is that what I'm hearing from you?
No, but
now you understand.
Shame.
No.
Shame.
You understand. Fuck yeah, Darth Vader all day. What's up? North Dakota. What's up?
But he eventually got redeemed.
Oh,
North Carolina. North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah, that was good. Okay. That's super nerd talk. Sorry, that was Star Wars hour.
This is what we're about,
There's going to be NOOB Star Wars edition.
Pretty much.
It's gonna be
for the 5th time. We are always talking about Star Wars. I'm
Star
always
Wars,
talking about
nerds, aliens, all that stuff.
You need to get into the Clone Wars, like for
all
sure.
right, fine.
You have
I'll
to
watch it.
My one recommendation, though, is if you decide to get into it, or you decide I'm going to sit down, I'm going to watch it, I'm going to go through this, please go online
and the order
and watch the correct order, because for some odd reason they still air. They're still airing them out of order on Disney Plus. I'm like, just go and re-switch them so they're in the correct order for like the first 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah, they need to make that adjustment. But even initially when it first came out, it wasn't linear, because you get different stories.
Right, but that's what I'm saying is like they went and filled in those gaps in later episodes, which is weird because. Like I remember but they don't do it in a way of like, remember back when this happened? Like they just started the episode and it wasn't. And then the funny thing is when you watch it in the correct order, it slots. It fits like a nice little puzzle piece that an episode from like season 4 is actually supposed to be taking place in like the 3rd episode of season 1.
Yeah,
and
that's
you
true.
slot it in
even
there
the way it
correctly,
jumps
and
when
it just
starts,
it flows better. It just flows better. So. And, I feel bad for anybody that actually watched it per episode week by week because it was all out of order.
So
that was me.
Very disjointed.
Is it a specific website or just Google? Is it,
just Google. Just go like
just letting the audience know that
just put correct Clone Wars order.
Okay.
And they'll lay it out. And then I think once you get to like mid-season like 3 or something, they finally started to do the story arcs in order in the correct.
Because they would do like story blocks like. 4-episode arc. 4-episode arc.
Right.
This one was 6 episodes. This one was 3. Yeah. Like, and they do it like that.
And I mean, I know it's good, but it's not gonna. I don't know how.
The clones,
oh,
man.
You get.
Oh, you get to learn. You get to love the clones.
Just
Rex and Fives.
Just say that.
Okay, yeah.
And then let
He's
him
putting
get
his
into
finger over your mouth. Shh, don't say anymore.
Yes.
Because I'm still gonna watch the movies and buy the games and stuff like that. I'm still invested in giving my money to Disney. That's why when Mandalorian came out, I hopped on it super freaking quick.
Yeah,
That's great. But
even though you didn't know when it takes place, but whatever.
Yeah, so fuck you, Joe. I don't care. That's the loyal dedication.
I think that's the elitist in us, though. Like we're like the snob, like looking down on you. I'm Jabba
I will
the
say,
Hutt, like,
to be honest, I am not doing that. That is just Joe.
That's me.
I understand where my brother is coming from
Okay.
because a lot of people
Brotherly
I had to
love.
introduce Trisha to a lot of this. No, she was like you
in the she
was a
in
fan.
Star Wars. She was a fan of the Star
wasn't,
Wars.
like,
and
heavy.
she just wasn't heavy into it. But a lot of people, I think the Mandalorian is that kind of jump off point. I think a lot of people have because it's relatively new. It's really, really well done. It has a lot of a lot of mouth.
It's
not
beyond
a
well
lot
done.
of lot of word of mouth. So it's very popular in the cultural lexicon. So it's kind of like you didn't see the Mandalorian, you're like out, like you're out of the circle, right?
Well,
like,
ever
oh,
since,
you didn't see
especially
the
when Baby Yoda.
Mandalorian. Whereas if you say, oh, you didn't see the Clone Wars animated series, it's like it's not as much because it was very niche. Because you got to imagine,
that's
still
true.
it was aimed at
Kids.
Well, I wanted
at
like
first.
yeah.
Then you get to like season 3, and you're like,
And it's like,
what?
Even
this
if
is for
Politics
kids?
get in. Yeah, no, for real.
There are parts in there
absolutely
like,
true.
this is I can't show this to my child.
That's how I feel about Rebels.
Right? Yeah.
Resistance was trash to
Yeah,
me.
this
It
was-
was like
yeah,
a filler. I call that a filler
Filler?
arc.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
whatever they do next, but Rebels was just as fucking great
was
for
good.
me. Like it starts off kind of kiddie, and this is the one that Dave Filoni had like full control.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
was his show.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Like Clone Wars was George
Kind of
and
a
Dave.
combo,
It was
yeah.
a little hybrid, but Dave Filoni took full control
Mm-hmm.
of Rebels, and Rebels is just
If
magic.
it's live action, I'm
It
100%
isn't live
sure.
action.
I know. I
Oh,
said
sorry,
if,
but
if it was, I
the
would.
Mando season 2
yeah.
looks like they're gonna be bringing in some of those.
Yo, it's
characters.
just, I know.
sorry.
Trust me. I will say this. I was having a debate with one of my other Star Wars buddies that we talked to at work, and the dude builds his own lightsabers, which shout
Wait,
out to
outside
Clint.
of Disney?
That's dope.
No, like he's very good at kind of like you, engineer, machine.
I
Well,
was
he's not an engineer, but he specifically
Okay.
just does
Tinkerer.
lightsabers. Like
Yeah,
he
we talked
literally
about that.
Yeah, he literally just does but he built this one that is like, oh my god, he brought it to work, and basically it has essentially 10 lightsabers in one because he built a switch in there that will not only switch the individual sound of the blade, but it switches to a specific character. So you press the button and the character's voice or a clip from a movie that they're from comes on. The blade changes to that blade that they use, and it's the sound of the blade because the blades actually sound different between, like, let's say Kylo Ren's lightsaber versus like Luke Skywalker's from Return of the Jedi, right? And so he built the whole thing into the thing, which has a legit heft and weight to it that feels really, really nice.
It's made
the
in
blade
America.
is-
That's why.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it is apartment. It is apartment
full
in
circle,
Brooklyn.
baby.
But that's how lore driven, like that's how he is. So we were talking about that, and we were talking about what's happening potentially in
Mando
2. I'm a little bit for one of the people that they want to bring in. I'm like, yes. The casting for it, I'm like, yes. Then I hear that they're going to be trying to bring in like 3 or 4 more characters from Rebels, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what his intentions are, because if it's like, I'm bringing all these characters, and then you're going to be like, who is that? And then people will say, oh yeah, just go watch the Rebels show. Then I don't know if he's trying to get people to go back and watch his Rebels
People
show.
have to watch
just
Rebels,
to watch
though.
it because they're like, I don't know who this is. I don't know if that's what he's trying to do.
So
Oh,
what
so
comes
good.
first? Is it after Clone Wars, then comes Rebels, or
Yes.
do they intermix?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
No.
After
Yes.
Clone Wars comes Rebels.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So if you want to, like, there's a whole timeline, there's a photo
He'll,
that you can
Phil
look at.
send
But
it to me.
it basically combines not only the movies, but it bases all the TV shows and movies. So it has from the prequels to the television shows, the animated television shows, to the Mandalorian. They fit that within the timeline. They also include kind of the quote unquote side Star Wars stories, which would include Solo and Rogue
Okay.
One. They fit those where
Okay.
those fit in the timeline too. So you could do a whole Star Wars blitzkrieg of like media out there. I'm actually starting to read the books.
Oh shit!
So-
Wait, comic
now-
books or the
No,
new
the actual
books?
the novels,
the new novels,
the new novels. So like
'Cause
the Aftermath series.
He read a lot of the older
Their
novels.
legacy now.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, boo.
The legends now.
The
Now it's
legends of
legends.
legacy. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Heir
I
to the
spent all that
Empire.
time- I spent all that time reading all those books, and they're like, yeah, all that is void.
Null and void, yeah.
Null and void. I'm like, oh man.
Which I never got a chance to take Joe to the Void to do the Star Wars experience.
Well, I still think it. I mean, after
feels
this
right,
COVID
dude.
thing, I still
Yeah.
think it will be.
Oh, and well, I mean, you both been to Disneyland
Yes.
for the Star Wars
To
thing
Galaxy's
in the-
Edge, yeah,
Galaxy's
of
Edge.
course.
So,
Yes, sir.
I mean, you have that.
I've
thing together.
I want to bring you, man. It's gonna
yeah.
happen. It's gonna
Yeah,
happen
it'll eventually
after this
happen.
whole COVID stuff.
It'll happen. We should do it together.
Oh, that'd be
That'd
really
be
dope.
fucking dope.
I would.
Yes, we should absolutely do
we
that.
will. We still would need 3 more people.
Yes.
But
yes.
see, here's the problem.
To be able
So,
to pilot the
like,
Falcon. But we need people who know.
No, here's the thing. So because we've done it, we'll have to probably be relegated to either being gunners or engineers. Because like I would feel bad if I just jump in the pilot seat because like I already know how it is, and I know people will really like to fly.
Yeah. It's okay.
So,
I worked on it, my old
that's
job.
true.
So
Nice.
hashtag no flex,
Yeah, but you never actually worked on it.
Suck my dick.
Souk Madik. Souk Madik.
I'm telling if those shows, if the Clone Wars and the Rebels was shot live action, no matter how cheesy it was, I guarantee you I would have watched it.
Probably.
And I think it is something about the animation, kind of overly cartoony.
I agree.
That's what I was saying about The
it.
Mandalorian.
Yeah,
I hopped on The Mandalorian just as quick as anybody else who was a fan. Nobody had to tell me, Keenan, you should go watch The Mandalorian. No, I knew to watch it because of I want the live action because I'm a fan of the classic old school Star Wars.
Yeah.
I want to see more live action of that. Because I played the video games, but not a lot. Philip played practically all the video games,
pretty much,
of the Star Wars universe.
Yep.
Or I only played a little because I want that movie interaction.
Okay, so once you watch Gallery, the technical aspect of what they did
for Mandalorian.
Oh, your mind will be blown.
You are
going
to be blown
as an engineer and as someone that's super into that.
Like
oh my god,
was Yoda's pod really floating on magnets?
Dude, like
trust me. I'm not gonna say anything. I would just watch that.
I'm pretty sure if
that episode blew my fucking mind.
Blown away.
I probably would have built it like a drone, so it really looks like it's floating.
Dude, you have no idea.
Wait, was it really levitating off the ground like a magnet?
Just watch
Gallery.
Oh, you both suck. God.
And what I love about Gallery is that it's taking one aspect of the production, and just focusing on that. Like it focuses on the acting, it focuses on the directing, it focuses on the tech that they used. So it's a great series.
It's very good, especially I mean, you're into The Mandalorian. You watch it. I would highly recommend it. It's just Gallery. It's very good. All right.
Then I'll watch Clone Wars, Joe. Then I'll watch Rebels.
I think you'll like it. I think
you can skip Resistance.
Really?
Yeah, you can skip Resistance.
But
I think you'll
like
the
animation of Resistance, though. It looks pretty neat.
It's all right.
Oh, yeah.
I think even Dave Filoni admitted, it wasn't my best work.
Kaz,
don't quote
really,
me on that.
Kaz?
Don't quote me on that. But no, it's all good. Star Wars. But Star Wars. We can move on to something else. Keenan, you introduce the subject that you like because I feel like we.
So Star Wars.
Dude, we just went on a Star Wars tire.
I was quiet for 30 minutes. That rarely happens on the show. Unless Philly's talking some philosophical shit.
Yeah, we're not speaking about Philly. He's not here.
No, but I think he still listens, though.
I hope he does.
Hi, Philly. No, I was gonna say because we went way off from Marvel and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say it hinted me to Don Cheadle, and you should really watch Black Monday. I just saw the first episode, and I was telling Joe. Joe mentioned Black Monday, and I was like, is that the show I just saw? It's like what?
What is that about again?
It's about the stock market crash.
Okay, yes,
97.
I did see, and then he's like, it's like the old, it's a period piece.
Yeah, it's a period piece.
Yeah.
Set in the 80s.
I've seen he talks to the camera a lot.
Yeah.
The
first episode.
I've heard about it.
It's a great show.
That's another one. It has to go onto the back burner because I'm like, I need to see this and that and Better Call Saul.
Sure. I didn't even know it was back. It took Keenan to say, "Hey, have you seen this show?"
Yeah.
I was like, "It's back."
I think he got a nomination or something.
It was good. His performance, that first episode alone, his performance. I told Joe there's a segment where he had this long monologue, and I was like, "It was brilliant.
Such a great show.
It was brilliant.
It is such a great show.
Yeah,
it's absolutely you need to watch it."
Speaking of great shows, because I was on the way over here, I was like, I don't know if I can find a way to shoehorn this into this conversation.
Here it is.
I'm gonna do it.
Here it is.
Here's my shoehorn into it.
Okay.
I was listening to the Hamilton soundtrack on the way over here.
So you watched Disney?
I see Joe's reaction.
Look, man, I'm a theater kid.
He tried to get into Hamilton. He got denied.
I'm just not. No, I don't know.
Well, I guess my question is, did you see the Disney?
I haven't watched it. No.
Oh,
I haven't watched it.
I tried to go see the play, but I couldn't get tickets.
I just have an expectation of what Hamilton's going to be, and I'm afraid that I'm going to be disappointed.
I'm telling you, from a guy that loves theater, like I've never performed in plays, but I love going to plays. I'm really into.
Dude,
Since no.
What?
Since
were you there?
Since the Hulk musical.
Yeah,
Come
right.
on.
Since Spider-Man
Here's a
musical.
little family history between. So I believe you were there when Dad took us to go see Damn Yankees.
Yeah, I was there.
Okay, yeah. So
Damn right
yeah,
I
no,
was.
that's what I'm saying. So after
And
that,
you were really against it when we
no,
were going.
I was super against it.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I don't want to go to this. And
Why
blah,
is
blah,
it
blah,
so
blah,
stupid,
blah,
blah, blah, blah.
And then I left it, and I'm like, I love this.
Yeah.
I love this because, and our dad was smart because he
picked a
introduced
good
me
show,
to me
yeah.
through baseball because that's my favorite
Yeah.
sport.
He could have picked
And
Wicked.
Yeah, he could have picked.
Hey, don't knock
here's
Wicked.
thing.
Wicked's the
I
shit,
saw
bro.
Wicked
Yeah.
later.
Okay,
like
yeah.
later down the
Bro.
line.
Yeah.
Wicked is the shit.
But like that.
Oh, I know. I
that introduced
to introduce Philip.
Yeah, that introduced me to like the theater, and then we saw Lion King live.
Yeah, we did.
And that was
Ooh,
very
Lion
good.
King
He
was good,
also
And then-
took us that one.
So I went down. I went down that rabbit
Mm-hmm.
hole, and now and there was actually a big gap where I didn't go. And then when I met Trisha, and she was into theater, she after we were dating for a couple of years, we got the pass for Pantages to get the whole year.
Okay, yeah,
So
like
you
membership,
see like
yeah,
you
the
see the whole shows and you see select shows, and then but that year was when Hamilton first came to LA.
So you lucked out on
So
that.
that's so it's part of the package. So
okay.
we hefty amount of money,
Yeah.
but we got to see a lot of plays, a lot of good ones, and then obviously Hamilton was like the cherry on top of everything. So after saying all that, and someone that loves seeing live
performances, live theater, yeah.
musicals, you're not going to be disappointed. I'm
right.
telling,
I mean,
I'm
it
telling you
won
right
awards
now.
for a reason,
I'm
Joe.
telling you
not
right
saying
now.
it is, but
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now. You have Disney Plus. If whenever you get the time, either later tonight
it
or
might
whatever.
happen tonight.
Just-
If you watch
just put
Hamilton,
it
I'll
on.
watch Clone Wars.
Because and here's why I would say that. You're not only very musical, obviously, you're very into theater too. And the merging of this specific type of music, it being more rap, or pretty much all rap, even though there's a couple of ballads and stuff in there. But like it's something that you've never seen before on the live. So you've never seen. Now, yes, you're watching the video of the live performance.
I'm not gonna
in
knock
New York,
that. I'm not gonna.
But
knock
like,
that. I'd love to.
dude, I'm
I'd
telling
love
you,
to do that.
You are not going to be disappointed. Like everybody that I've talked to that is into this kind of stuff, I was reading a review that someone had literally the exact same words. Like, I'm super into this stuff. I have an expectation in my head, and the dude
I
was
love hip-hop,
afraid of
and I'm
watching
gonna be
it.
afraid of
The dude was
corny
afraid
ass
of watching
raps that are just
well,
like-
let me ask you this: Did you ever listen to the soundtrack like at all? Like, when it was
Nothing.
okay.
I've heard nothing.
Then that's probably the best, dude. I'm telling you.
Wait, you should listen to the soundtrack first?
No,
Oh.
no. Like, watch it. Like, I mean, because it's here. Because the reason I would say a lot of people listen to the soundtrack, and then when they either happen to get tickets or watching it now or singing along, is because they couldn't get tickets. They heard how good it was and listened to the soundtrack because that was available, right? So because you haven't heard any, just watch it straight up and just do it.
I'll check it out.
No, I wait to hear either a text directly from you or through Keenan, our mediator, about what you thought of it, because I rarely do this. I usually tell people have your own opinion, but like I'm telling you, you are going to love this.
I've already listened to the musical, and I saw a good segment amount of it, but I listened to the soundtrack a lot of times. I think I needed some space. Yeah.
I mean, but if you haven't seen it on Disney Plus, if you haven't seen it all the way through, I really would
I know
highly
it's a good
recommend
show.
we
Yeah.
stop this and just watch
Oh
it.
God.
Like, I mean, I don't have
We're
time to
close.
watch it that
Yeah.
much because it's like it's almost a 2.5 hour musical.
Yeah.
I think.
okay.
Yeah.
So
It would have been 3 with the intermission, so yeah, it makes sense.
yeah. But Joe, I'm telling you, man. Like,
It's
I'll
on your
check it out.
list.
I
I'll
mean,
check it out.
what
No, for
you
sure.
doing with Keenan with Clone Wars and
It's
Star Wars
like
Death,
different.
I'm doing with you for musical theater and Hamilton.
I heard they did.
Well, no,
another
I
one
love
after
musical
that
theater.
too.
Yeah, and that's the
absolutely
thing.
love
It's
it,
like
so.
you would even come it from a perspective that even maybe I don't have, because I don't know if you've ever performed.
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
So no, in musical theater.
Yeah,
we
we
have. Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure you have. Like
Yeah,
I
West Side Story. I did. Like,
yeah,
I've done a bunch
so
of-
like you would have an even more.
I was the king in King and I.
Nice. And that was actually one of the plays we actually saw.
And I was a tree and Into the Woods.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I was jacking Into the Woods.
Nice. You will have a special appreciation. Like you're in that exclusive club that, people that, like myself that have not performed musicals. Right. You're in that special club that you will have a special connection to it.
I'm gonna have like a nostalgic feeling.
You'll want to go back on stage.
I'm pretty sure that when you see this, you'll be like, damn, I want to go back into musical theater or something. If you can do something like this, like, it's, and it's, a lot of people are universally, like, not everybody loves it. Obviously, because there's rarely something out there in this world like universally everybody loves it. You're always going to have your few haters or whatever.
We call them Trump supporters.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, God, I feel so bad you haven't seen it.
Nah, don't feel bad. I'll watch it. Yeah. If you're saying it's dope.
I honestly think you're going to text me back. It was better than my expectations, or something to that effect. Okay. I think you have really high expectations. I think it's going to pole vault completely over it.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna do it. I think so. I'm putting it out there. That's my prediction. I don't want to say it's fact.
I'm gonna do it. I've been apprehensive. I've been
so the apprehension was the fact that your expectations were so high.
Yeah, I have high expectations of it. Obviously it's critically acclaimed. It's won shitload of awards.
And that still isn't enough for Joe.
No. But
because critics probably have way higher expectations.
I'm a theater kid, and it's presenting itself as like a hip opera, pretty much.
Yeah.
But I also love rap. I love hip hop. I love lyricism, and I don't want it to be like I went to the, like I don't want it to be some corny ass raps trying to emulate what the fuck,
Yeah.
And
the streets represent.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Lin-Manuel Miranda is like the greatest rapper of all time, but I'm pretty sure you've seen clips of him either on Jimmy Kimmel or something like that. So
he wrote for Moana.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah,
well, it's a little different because it wasn't rap.
Well, yeah,
but like still,
I can see his caliber of writing and
right. So knowing that, you should be not you should be, but you can have a
you
little
will
bit
be.
Of
you will be.
Yeah. You can have a little. You can have a little comfort.
You will be. Do the other voice.
You will be.
Yeah. You can have a little comfort in knowing that. I think it was in good hands, that it came from his brain, and this whole thing came from him. Well, I'm sure
you won't jizz your pants, but you'll be like, yeah, it was good. That was great.
I think he might jizz his pants. There might be some time. Like, here's the thing. Like, this thing, for me, when I watched it live for the first time,
which is a way different experience.
It's a way different experience, but at the same time, there was a certain wave of emotion that cut right to the core.
Because we're black.
No, not necessarily, but that's a little bit a part of it too, right? It was when I looked up on stage, and it was pretty much everybody of every ethnicity.
Yeah.
More dominating. Obviously there was a couple of white, actors and performers on stage too, but of most of the plays and stuff, maybe except The Lion King, it's
predominantly
white people in the thing. So the fact that it was of a hip hop culture, I know it, grew up in it, and I'm seeing this on stage being performed by the same ethnic groups that this kind of stuff appealed to, on top of the fact that, the story in and of itself was good. And obviously, it's based loosely on history. There were some facts in there, but obviously you need to do some stuff for story purposes,
of course,
to go in there. But it was emotional, because it was like, holy crap. Like, it resonated with me. Yeah, right. Immigrants, we get the job done. Only if you've seen Hamilton.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But yeah, no, it was just fantastic seeing it live. And then for me, seeing it on Disney Plus, because I was a little afraid. I'm like, ooh, because
how they
seeing
film
it.
it.
Well, yeah, because how they filmed it, but seeing it in L.A., obviously it wasn't the original Broadway.
And
cast.
this is the original cast.
The original
right?
Broadway cast, and did it on Broadway. So, I had one perspective of it, which I thought was really, really good. I'm like, I don't know if the Broadway one is better than this, because this is like
fucking
really good.
Broadway, bro.
Now I know.
Yeah. Now you know why they call it Broadway.
I know they shut that shit down.
Now I know. But
nice.
yeah, no, it's.
Was the set the same?
Yeah,
From what you
it's
remember?
exactly the same
Okay.
setup.
Okay,
It's
it's
just
just
the
the
actors
So they
changed.
did they
Other than
refilm
the
it,
cast.
or is it a film of the original play back when it first came out?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's that's what it is.
So they had this in their vault for that long, and they could have released it.
Well,
anytime
you can't say that Disney had it in their vault.
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
Well,
Disney-
somebody
Disney
had it in there.
paid for it.
Whoever had
Disney
it.
paid for it
Disney
recently.
paid to get it.
Oh,
So
recently.
Lin-Manuel Miranda probably had this in his pocket. Like, one day I'm going to
Okay.
release this.
So it was interesting that you mentioned that because there was some footage from. So I did like I went on the internet after watching on Disney Plus and went into a whole Hamilton dive and all this other stuff. But some of the footage that I saw online, there was some like PBS, like there was like a PBS like Hamilton. Like where they kind of went into the history of Alexander Hamilton and stuff like that, and they were combined with what was happening on the play. And so some of the footage that was on that PBS special, I was noticing was in some of the same footage
okay.
there.
Okay.
So, they probably filmed it. Knowing sometime in the future they were going to use it
It's
for
gonna be
either
used for
documentary
something, yeah.
purposes or whatever. So, but they filmed the whole thing. So there's shots of, so like for me, one of the things that I really, really appreciate is because when we're in theater, we're sitting kind of far back.
Yeah.
Not we weren't in the very nosebleed sections, but we were in a decent place. But we weren't close enough to really see the emotion on
smell the
people's
hot
face.
breath, yeah.
Exactly. Can't get spit on
Yeah.
and stuff like that. The enunciations. So seeing it here was great because now you see the emotion into the characters again, and then now that emotion is being swept up again because now I'm actually seeing the emotion on the face,
Damn, that's...
crying and
Okay.
stuff like that. And,
All right, you're very convincing.
I hope I
Very
am.
convincing.
He's
You're
a
welcome,
good salesman.
Manuel.
Oh yeah,
I got another one.
Now he's gonna get a
And another
paycheck.
one.
Yeah.
And another one.
Another one. That's
DJ
great.
Phil
That's
Kelly.
great.
And another one.
And with that,
Oh my god!
we have come to the soapbox portion
I only
of our
spoke for like half of
podcast.
this show.
Yeah, that's what you get.
Next show, I'm talking all the way.
You could try.
I know it won't work.
So the soapbox portion, for those of you who don't know, is we all take a moment to let each person speaking on the pod have their moment and speak on whatever they want to speak on, uninterrupted for as long as you want to talk. You can promote something. You could shout someone out. You can vent. You could do anything. You get your moment. Usually, if we have a guest, we let the guest go first.
Okay.
Followed by Keenan, and then I close it out.
Oh boy.
Philip,
Put me on the spot.
Duncan.
Okay.
It happens.
Soapbox. Okay, so Star Wars. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do that to you guys. You already
For
have
30 more minutes.
Okay, I guess my soapbox is for today.
Can I add one thing for
Yes.
Phil and for whoever comes to the show? It's anything, literally anything. You
Right.
don't have to be restricted.
No.
If you want to talk shit on someone, if you
Right.
want to apologize to someone, like you can really say anything you. This is one of those moments where if there's things you want to get off your chest, if you say
Okay.
I hate my brother for the longest part of my
Nope,
life,
nope,
you
nope,
can
not
say
gonna do
that.
that.
You
Not
were
gonna do that.
adopted, stuff like that.
Not gonna do that.
But you literally
Let him get his fucking soapbox.
Not gonna
Fuck
do
up.
You can say anything you
I'm
want.
not gonna do that.
That's all.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to say is I'm going to publicly apologize to my wife for anything I do or have done in the past and in the future. I'm very sorry. I love you very much, and I would not trade you for anything in this world. So I just want to start off by that. Okay. So no, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna go anything. No, seriously. So my soapbox. So I'm just gonna go with. I'm just gonna go with something that's on my mind. And Keenan's phone is blowing up right now. I'm because I'm kind of put on the spot. I forgot you guys did this on the show. So I'm just gonna. I guess I'm gonna talk about just kind of what's been on my
That is not
mind
me.
lately. And what? Okay, you're distracting me now. I guess I'm just gonna talk about just kind of what's going on with the coronavirus and the people's idea of fringing on their freedoms in this country. I guess I'm a little bit of everything, which I think a lot of people are feeling now, which is like angry and like scared a little bit and then worried and then just kind of like WTF and why there's so many Karens and Kevins out there doing their thing and stuff like that. And I guess for me, I'm just in a state of, I mean, I'm just kind of thinking just about what's going on. And I understand people's aversion to be like, well, you got to wear a mask. And in order to go shopping, you got to wear a mask. And then having these people go in without a mask or go in with a mask and then decide to take it off because freedom. And, you know, I'm in America. I can do whatever I want. I just don't quite understand that attitude in the situation that we're currently in. I mean, I can have a debate or talk to someone that maybe has these feelings, but at the same time, the fact that we're in a global pandemic with the virus that we still don't have a vaccine for, and God knows when, we still don't know how it 100% works. And the fact that, you know, a company is asking you to try to protect yourself, not only for themselves, but for yourselves as well. I don't understand how people can't understand that this out there in these policies and doing the shutdown and stuff like that is for your benefit. And I understand that, you know, people losing their jobs for the money. You know, full disclosure, our mom just told us she lost her job as well. So it's not like it doesn't affect me, and I understand that. And I wish that our government and our leadership that's in there right now would do a little bit better job to protect those people that unfortunately have to lose their jobs because of their health. And that's a bigger debate or another show to do. But just getting down to the basic level of like, your freedoms aren't as more important as the health of somebody else. Just because you can't go into Trader Joe's without a mask and shop doesn't mean that you're a better person or you're, you know, exercising your freedom right in America to do it. Like, just getting back to that human basis, it's like, we're just trying to protect you so we don't get other people sick, you know. And the ignorance of just, you know, these people that open up a whole state and then you set the record for number of it's like cause and effect, people. It's like, yeah, of course that was going to happen because you're doing this, and now you're still trying to push. Sorry, Florida. You're still trying to, you know, your governor is still trying to push teachers to get back to school to teach all these students. That could then transmit the virus even more, and even blow your state up more. Why? Just because you want to get political points or money? I don't know. You know, like I said, this is a soapbox, so I'm going off on that. So I'm just saying, like, you know, try to be safe out there. I understand that it's hard and stuff like that, but don't think that doing this is infringing on your freedoms to do anything. This is for the benefit of our country at this point. To try to like do something like that, I don't know. I don't know what I say. There's really no point. I don't know if there's even a point to that, but that's kind of my thoughts on what's been going through my head recently and stuff like that. So there you go.
Word.
See?
Look at that. Dropping
You
bombs.
said you didn't have it. You said you weren't ready.
Well, I
You
was
were
just thinking.
fucking
I was
ready.
just thinking of something that I was just thinking about today, and like I said, I read that article, you know, about Florida breaking the limit, and that just is on my mind now. I'm
That's
like,
what the soapbox is for, man.
Yep.
but
Yes, it
Disney
is.
World's still open, right?
So-
So you know,
Yeah.
Stupid shit. I could have sworn I said to silent your phone, but whatever.
You know
Keenan,
what? Suck my dick. Your shit was on there too, and I heard it ring.
Well,
mine-
do you know who was
mine wouldn't
texting
ring.
you?
Yeah. Okay. So
We're in a group
We
chat.
played Call of Duty.
No, we're in a group chat, but mine definitely wasn't going off because
And-
mine doesn't ring like that.
Anyway,
Keenan, hit us with your soapbox.
first of all, fuck Joe, and shout out to my Call of Duty Gulag boys. All right, you can text me all you want during the show. I answer you guys all the time. Oh yeah, shout out to Nudist. He's one of our players. He got a bunch of commercials and stuff. He's been posting on IG, so congratulations getting those gigs. Thank you, Philip, for being on the show. Really appreciate it. Which is super awesome. I got my mom, I got my bro, so that's kind of cool. That's about all it, 'cause, cousins, fuck them. No, I'm just kidding. But thank you for letting us do this here at your place, Joe. Thank you for all the listeners listening. This was a great and practically almost just straight PG-13 show. So hopefully we get a larger audience thanks to us being nice and tame. So thank you, listeners. Spread the word. If you can, blow us up, word of mouth. It's going to be great. My soapbox for tonight, because it is nighttime now, is it's weird what I'm going through, because I agree with Philip and I agree with Joe on all his other soapboxes and any ones he's about to do, because I know he dropped some good shit. But I'm in a really weird and appreciative state. I told my cousin when I was talking to her, because I was joking about being all sad and depressed with all the COVID and stuff like that, and I really wasn't. And I was joking, but I really answered her truthfully after I said, I am contently happy. And contently happy is that I am sort of just riding the waves out of this whole Corona thing, strictly Corona. Now, if we're talking about police brutality, I'm kind of riding that wave too, because I'm hiding in my house most of the time, not going out and going anywhere. I barely walk around the neighborhood, and my car doesn't work, so I don't really drive anywhere. But strictly for Corona, this hit right after I got laid off from my job and I got unemployment. So I was already in the system. And as I was already in the system and my unemployment was, I had about maybe a month or two left on it, then Corona hits. And then they extend my benefits. And then the Corona hits you like seriously enough to where they add extra money to it. So now they're throwing money on top of my original benefits. And so during this whole time, I was looking for work, but then I stopped and was like, you know what? Obviously, people aren't getting back to work that quick, and they're not hiring that quick. So I'm going to focus more on my business. And sure enough, I've been selling a few signs here and there, and I've been being able to buy new equipment. I'm about to get a new machinery too, thanks to the money that's coming in. But the experience that everybody's having, the world I'm in right now, it's really weird because it's almost I'm in a bubble within a bubble. I am at my house building my own projects while the world around me is practically burning down. And the saddest thing ever that I did that happened that kind of explains where I'm at and what I do. And I've been talked down where I'm not a horrible person, but I really feel like I am, is because a few days ago I went to get food down the street, and as I got my food and was about to walk away, I heard this yelping sound in the middle of the street. And I turn around and I see that there's a dog in the middle of the street yelping and crying. And I walked away. I didn't do anything about it. As I walked away, I looked behind. It turns out somebody did pick up the dog. But during the time I saw the dog cry, a bunch of other cars were honking at the dog and driving past it. Some of them almost running it over. So it made me think about what happened, what I just did, and what other people do in relation to pretty much anything in this world. That dog kind of represents practically Corona and George Floyd, almost all wrapped into one, and any other troubles. And you have people that would honk their horn and drive by, or you would have people like me who would see it and not do anything and then walk away and then go back to whatever their own little world. And then you would have people like what I just saw when I walked away, picking up the puppy and taking care of it. But it really tripped me out because that explains my situation of where I'm at with everything else in the world. I have some money in my account. My loans are kind of calling me up, but I'm kind of going, kiss my ass. And everything else is paid off for. I can't go anywhere because I don't have my car, but there are people who help me out, and there's Lyft and Uber. But I have something to keep me busy with my projects and the stuff that I've always wanted to do and what I went to college for in the first place is some engineering shit. I have friends with video games that I can play with. I don't have a girlfriend, which I complain a lot on the show, but that's where the whole contently happy is. I'm content. And I am kind of happy with my contingency because nothing really is affecting me, which I'm knocking on as much wood as I can, because I'm kind of riding the wave to see what will happen, because something may happen crazier than COVID, or it might go away, then I have to jump back on that job market. Or who knows, maybe my business blows up or this podcast blows up. I don't know. I don't know, and I care, but I'm not going to do anything to affect any of those situations. So, if you want to date me, holler at me. You know my Instagram. And, that's my soapbox.
I don't want to say you're horrible, but fuck.
People should realize I am a really nice guy.
My brother.
But I'm a really horrible person. Yeah, the thoughts in my head, and
that was great, man. That was great.
I'm at least I'm being open about it. So
yeah,
fuck
you're being
y'all.
honest, man. That's what this podcast is all about.
That dog analogy was actually really
That was good.
On point.
Yeah,
I'll be honest. When you said that, I'm like, fuck.
I was quiet for several hours and was very sad and mopey.
You were
when I
the
went
dude
home.
that walks away and says, "See, somebody's gonna take care of it."
Not exactly.
Oh, really? You weren't even that?
No, I was saying I hope somebody takes care of it as I was walking away.
You're like, oh. And then when you turned around and saw somebody, you were like, oh, see, dude.
I was like, yes, but I went into a huge, deep complexity and was like, what kind of person am I? What kind of the people that I live around? What is the world like?
Yeah.
I'm not the only one that does that kind of stuff.
That's me with homeless people all the time.
Homeless people, but even the people who filmed George Floyd's death, there are people around filming it. Technically, they could have tackled the police officer. I know they would have got shot, but
that shit like that does anger me. You're like, oh my god, you're killing him. Like, stop fucking recording, do something. Like, speak up about it. Get closer. Say, hey, dude, like, what the fuck?
Or get in, go in the street and pick up the dog. Something like that. So
nice.
Why not?
Yeah,
cool. Love it.
Take us home, Joe.
All right, I'm gonna go further into the rabbit hole here.
Star Wars.
More Star Wars.
So Katana.
The Last Starfighter.
Oh, God.
Woo. Again, it's another week with COVID. It's not going away. It is what it is. And then some people can deal with it. Some people can't, and to me, it should all be understandable. Like, fuck. Like, nobody knows what the fuck to do. You're being told by health experts what to do, and some people ignore it. And you're like, all right, well, then if you're not listening to the people who are trying to help us, then who the fuck are you going to listen to? But that's not my soapbox. I'm just addressing that. Phil, thanks for coming out. I really appreciate you. We had an excellent conversation just in general about everything we spoke about. Cianan, great job. You said very minimum. You were
Listening. Just listening.
It was perfect. What I want to get into is this Wayfair shit. I don't know if you guys are familiar with like the QAnon and all this sex trafficking stuff that's really blown up in the last couple of weeks more than, because it's been around for a while, and there have been discussions with the Pizzagate and Hillary's emails and all this stuff, and it's hard to know what to believe. I think I spoke about it last week on the pod. I watched this documentary that a friend of mine put me on called it's The Fall Cabal. It's a 10 episode documentary. It's incredibly biased, but there are things that you can take away from it, like this sex trafficking thing, which is it's just weird because it's tough to really, like I said, know what to believe. And now that this Wayfair thing came out over the weekend, was it over the weekend or Friday? Or?
It was very recently. It was
it
over
just
the weekend.
happened over the weekend, where they're saying that this company selling this furniture that's just like a regular ass cabinet for like $16,000, and you're like, and I haven't personally confirmed that the names that are on these furniture pieces are actually the names of people. It's just whatever you see online. But after watching this QAnon documentary, I'm like, oh shit, okay, that's another piece to that puzzle added to that. I've been apprehensive while watching this documentary because they're really leaning on Trump as a savior, and I'm not. It's hard, even if the media is skewing the narrative and painting Donald Trump to be this bad dude because he's the president. You still have to go back and remember who Donald Trump was before he became a president. And he was a piece of shit before he became president. So it's not like the media is making him out to be a piece of shit. He's always been a piece of shit. It's a fact. So he can't be some type of savior that's helping us and getting rid of sex trafficking and all that shit. No. What I think is Donald Trump is trying to cover his tracks and saying, yo, let's attack these sex traffickers. I disconnected myself from them for a long time ago. No, motherfucker. This was only like 10 years ago that you disassociated yourself with some of these people. And that's because you were thinking of running for president. So don't. And so that's why I'm very apprehensive about this documentary, because they're saying that, oh, well, Donald is trying to save this. No, he's covering his tracks. And if this sex trafficking thing is true and real, which a lot of pieces are fitting into this puzzle, Donald Trump is part of that for sure. There's no way that he can't be part of it. So it's just it's an eye-opening thing that there are a lot of these things happening in the world that people aren't even aware of. And the fact that they're coming into light during a pandemic when everyone's at home and everyone has time is like, yo, where is this is a shift. This really is a shift in our world. Like, if these things surface and they do come to be true, we don't have an excuse to say we weren't paying attention because we were really at home. So just I guess what I'm trying to say is just be aware, like, and pay attention to things. Don't take them for face value, but just try to not necessarily research, but don't be ignorant to some of the things that you're hearing, and watch that fall cabal shit. Like I said, it's biased where it's trying to paint Trump as like a savior, but look past that and look at some of the stuff that they're actually talking about. I don't know how far some people want to get into it because it talks about the Rothschilds and all this shit, which you're aware of. You guys are aware of the Rothschild family and how they own most of the world and the 1% and all this bullshit. But just let's not be ignorant to these things anymore. Like we really need to wake up as a society and say, yo, there's something wrong. I just recently watched They Live Again. It's a John Carpenter film that came out in the late 80s, and it talks about like the hierarchy kind of controlling us subliminally. Now, this is a movie that came out in the 80s, you know, and he got a lot of flack for it. Like, yo, you're fucking crazy. You're tripping. Like, and he's like, nah, you guys really need to pay attention because some of this shit is going down. And we ignored it. And now if you watch that movie and see what's happening with us today, it's scary. It's scary. So let's not ignore things anymore. Let's just try to pay attention a little more. You know, we're at that point. We're at that point. I feel like we're at a very pivotal moment in our history. This is history. What we're experiencing right now is history. We have a depression, recession, whatever you want to call it. We have a pandemic. We have systematic racism and police brutality at a massive scale that we've never seen before. So we can't not pay attention to these things anymore. Stay awake. I'm not saying be woke. I'm saying stay awake and pay attention. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 81 of the None of Our Business podcast. We had Philip Duncan in the house today.
Thank you for having me. That was good. That was fun. That was fun.
God damn it, Keenan. You always...
Philip was funny. That was hilarious. Eat your woman out.
Such a man's dick.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, is that it? I try? Oh, no. We'll do it over day. Okay.
I didn't know what happened. I was saying I was trying to be funny.
Eat your woman out.
Suck your man's dick.
Am I supposed to say something?
Anything.
Oh, anything?
What's your closing line?
Oh, my closing line would be shiny.
Hey, all right. Bye-bye.